Yo, happy Monday, everyone. We are live. Let's get this set up real quick. Here, enjoy this in the meantime.
Mintra. Mintra.
Yo, what's good, everyone? All right, we're out here. We're live on YouTube. We're live on X. We're live on Twitch. And we have Dreams joining us, Lo-Fi Dreams. This is going to be a stream where we talk about so many things. Yo, welcome in, Dreams. For those of you who don't know, happy to introduce you. You can introduce yourself, cut me off whenever, all good. And yeah, Lo-Fi Dreams is a crazy artist, as you can tell by the profile picture right there. That's sweet hex art. Good stuff, man. Thanks for joining. It's kind of last minute, but we're out here talking about everything Pulsechain, Ethereum ETF tomorrow. It's all pumping. Pulse is pumping. It's a good time. Good time to be alive, man.
Dude, yeah. I've been like sitting, right? Like just like chilling, vibing. Like I dropped some art, did like a little like tiny little drop, right? And like I was just watching like my pulse just like pump. And like I was like, okay, pulse is going up. And then like I went to sleep and then I woke up the next morning. I was like, okay, it's still going up. And I'm like, cool.
So cool.
Like, yep, I'm vibing.
I love it, man. I love it. And yeah, how did that new drop go, by the way? You dropped some questionable art, some OF style.
Oh yeah,
no, I'm
yeah,
playing.
dude.
How's that?
It was interesting. So like I like literally just was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drop something out there. It's like questionable. Like I don't usually drop like this risque stuff, and like I just dropped it on the gram, right? And like it's been pumping for like 2 days straight now, and I think it just hit like 25K views on Instagram. So like stuff's like semi going viral for me right now. So I'm like super hyped about it. Like my Instagram, like I have been like wanting to grow that, and it's like I feel like it's one of those really tough, like for me personally, it's really tough to grow. I don't know. It's a really hard like platform to grow on. I feel like it's kind of a dying platform, to be honest, compared to Twitter. But yeah, it's been awesome, dude. I'm loving it.
Says the guy with like a ton of followers on Instagram. Last
dude,
I checked, you had like.
You have more than me.
Hold on, let me check.
You have more than me.
No way.
I only have like less than 10K. I'm not even at 10K yet.
Oh, well, your engagement is crazy. See, you have that like Instagrammable content though, because you're constantly making art, which goes back to I don't know how long you've been on Instagram, but like originally it was for photographers, I feel like, and then it just started becoming like popularity contests / thirst traps. But you got the like just that art, man. Like that's what Instagram was for. I feel like it's a visual platform. You have a grid, you have art, and I don't know. I feel like your content is perfect for it, and your engagement is good too. It's not all about followers, right? Like, sure, I have like what 16K or something. Or I don't even know honestly, but I get like 40 likes, 50 likes. If I'm lucky, I get 100 or 200. You're getting like multiple hundreds. So that ratio matters. I'm just gonna say that.
That is true. I think honestly the type of people too it's interesting. As soon as I entered like EDC crowd, instantly I saw growth. I did this like about like a week or two ago. I started like getting engaged with like EDC type people. Instantly growth on Instagram. So like that crowd is hot there. If you're like getting into that scene, if you want to like start making content towards that scene, like your content will do probably like 2x, 3x, 4x better. So yeah.
Okay, nice. And you mentioned something just like a minute ago or two, where you said you just kind of said like fuck it and just dropped a new NFT collection. Like that's something that I'm not like that, but I love seeing that, and I appreciate that people are like that. I wish I was more like that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
just I overthink things, I overplan things, but you're just like fuck it, new NFT collection, send it.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes you just gotta like say fuck it. I've noticed that in this space. Sometimes like it's either like a win or lose, and like sometimes if you say fuck it and go into it with like no expectations at all, like fuck it, if it doesn't go well, oh well. I said fuck it to begin with. I didn't really plan it at all. So if it doesn't do good, oh well, who cares? But if it does well, then fuck, like that's cool, like awesome, sweet. Like it's all this stuff is just like somewhat guessing and the perfect timing to some extent.
No, that's so true. And yeah, it's what I hear from that is like you get more at bats the more times you say just fuck it and send it. And if it doesn't go well, you just said who cares? It's like that TikTok brain. Like people just forget the next day. It's not like they're gonna hold it against you. Oh no, his collection didn't perform. Like no one says that. I don't think you've ever gotten, even if you had a collection that didn't perform, have you ever had someone call you out on it? Probably not. And if so, they just suck. So
yeah, no, dude, I've never had anyone call me out. I've had people who
literally
on like Ethereum for like over like a few thousands of dollars, right? And then my whole entire Ethereum like account got like fucking ripped. Like I got hacked because I was like newly into crypto. And like all those collectors, like not one of them said anything like, damn, that sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
Literally.
That really sucks. And that's all they said. Like they weren't pissed that their like art was kind of just destroyed because I got fucking hacked or anything. But You know,
Dang. Okay. I hope that hack wasn't devastating.
it was pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie. I think I like ripped like 5K from that. I think it ripped like 5K from that
Hmm.
wallet, and I was like, okay, well. And then after that, it never got hacked again. You know, I you learn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's too common of a theme in crypto is people getting hacked. We've had a few people in the Hex community, the Pulse community, get hacked for, like, it sickens me to say, like, probably 6 figures plus, some even more. And
Yeah.
the few lessons I've gleaned from those events have been, get a hardware wallet. If you can, get a separate machine, like a little cheap Chromebook to handle everything crypto, and then have another machine for everything else. And then just have good practice when it comes to interacting with the internet, right? Like, don't download random shit. Don't message random scammers on Telegram or Twitter. Just be aware, be skeptical, and don't click on random links. And just
Yeah.
if anyone hits you up as support for anything in crypto, just run away, block
And
them.
don't take commissions too, because there's people out there who are like other artists too. They're getting like scams because people are like coming to them with fake proposals for commissions, and it's like this crazy like you open a zip file and you can be fucked like real quick, and so it's like
Mm,
scary. Like you get like sent zip files being like, oh, this is commission. This is kind of like the references we want for the art piece, and it'll be like ship just a phishing link, and that's it.
yeah, bro, they get advanced. It's like they target you better than a business would sometimes. They're like, okay, this person's an artist, so he probably is accustomed to downloading zip files for art, for references, and so we're gonna get him with that. Or they got someone in the Hex community with test out this new game we're working on. Just download
Oh
this
God.
thing. Anytime it's download XYZ, immediately be cautious. And
Yeah.
and I hope we can save people from getting hacked because it's just awful and devastating and it's hard to come back from.
Dude, what sucks is the whole entire
So,
like crypto space is getting more into gaming. I feel like, right? And like the more it gets in this gamified world, like the more people are gonna like want these like the more shit's gonna get like more people are gonna get hacked. Like the more this goes on, because like gaming and like that whole entire world, there's so many just like scammers out there that are trying to do like the whole entire gaming aspects of it all. Like try out our beta, try out our blah blah blah, download this, try out
literally,
our game, and it's like
exactly.
it's so bad.
It's pretty bad. Well, glad you learned your lesson. Hope
Yeah,
you have a hardware wallet. Hope
yeah.
you're
Get that
taking
hardware wallet.
precautions. Yeah, exactly. And Trezor, not Ledger, because Ledger has had a ton of data leaks where their customer bases info, like address, phone number, email, have been leaked. And I know this was like a couple years ago, but still it leaves a bad taste in the user's mouth when hackers immediately have access to addresses of crypto users. It's not a good look for sure. So
Yeah,
Trezor for the
that's
win.
That's good advice. I have a ledger right now, but I'm about to change that up real quick. Thank
Hey
you.
man. Yeah, you heard it from here. Like, the tech probably good, the hardware probably good, but the security when it comes to their user databases, and it's like not even an expected thing. It's like it's just bad news. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. And even when it comes to Trezor.io is the only site I know of that's actually safe and secure to order Trezors. Don't order them from any third-party site like Amazon, etc., because oftentimes it's scammers and hackers ordering it first and then you know shipping it to you afterwards. And you definitely don't want your hardware wallet to go to other hands before it gets to you. You want it to come to you fresh,
Oh yeah.
fresh out of the factory.
Oh yeah.
So just as many tips as I can give, I like to give because I feel like we have a voice in this world, and the more followers you have, the more it's your responsibility to just make sure people are safe in crypto. If
Oh
you're in
yeah.
crypto, just let them
Whenever I
know,
get
man.
Dude, whenever I get any message that's like a scam or anything, I just straight up out the person. Like this person's trying to scam me. Don't fuck like block it right now. If he's trying to trying to go around to my followers, like just in case if he tries to get to you, just know this person's a scammer. Like block him, report him, get him off this fucking app. You know, like I try to do that as much as I can too.
Absolutely. Someone hit me up recently or like investment opportunity. Like, we want to we want to connect you to VCs and this and that, and it had broken English, and it's like, like nothing against broken English, but if you're hitting me up from like a questionable username, you're trying to lead me to questionable sites and broken, like it's just if your gut is suspicious, if your instincts are being triggered, just I don't know, just listen to it. It's better to be safe than very, very sorry.
Agreed. Well, anyways, besides that, we can continue on with the show now.
Let's continue with the show. This has been your disclaimer. It's not get wrecked in crypto.
For real. Yeah,
bro.
That's a real thing, dude.
But yeah, guys. For those of you who don't know, Dream's here. He's been making some dope ass art for Mintra. It's in the vault still. Haven't dropped any real teasers or anything, but we do actually have a teaser that I should drop soon. It's the animation with all the eyes of the characters. I won't say too much, but no, things are getting good. Ethereum ETF is launching, I think, tomorrow. So the corrupt SEC has given the green light. And yeah, I think when the Bitcoin ETF dropped in January, Bitcoin was what, like 40K or something like that? Let me check. January, like 42K. And then after that, we had our ETF hype pump to like 70K. So
Hype.
Not financial advice, but Ethereum is like 3,500. It's not even at all-time highs, while Bitcoin is. So that's hype point number one. Ethereum ETF incoming. Hype point number two. Bitcoin popped off 75% after the ETF hype, and it only took about a couple months. So a 75% pump from here for Ethereum would be what, like 6K per ETH, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, so I'm hyped on ETH, hyped on Bitcoin, crypto in general. Pulsechain obviously popped off recently. Did a 30% pump off the bottom or more. Actually, I think it was more. Hold on, let me check. So we bottomed out at around 4.03637. And right now we're 35% above the lows. And at the peak, we're about 44% above the lows. So that's pretty hype. If we look at indicators, I'll get into that in a bit, but the indicators are showing that it looks like a reversal. I'm not saying it is a reversal, but it looks like a reversal. We were up at like 3 zeros and a 2 back in March. So that's pretty cool. Dipped 75% or more, and now we're popping off finally. Hopefully we recover from these lows.
I think we are, dude. I honestly do think we are. Like Ethereum is like just lagging behind, and like I feel like just kind of everything's kind of lagging behind. But I do think stuff's gonna start picking up. I do truly think that. Like
How long have you been in crypto?
Off, dude, for 5 years, about 5-6
years.
So
5, 6,
so yeah,
2018.
yeah.
2017.
So I saw the height of ETH when I was at like
cool.
I think 5.4K. So yeah, I'm ready for it to go past that point.
Yo, me too.
But yeah, I'm so hyped for everyone here to start seeing the Mintra stuff come out. I'm like super excited for all that. Really excited for people to just get like a bunch of art to just be able to view and like need and be able to flex with. Like it's gonna be amazing.
Yes, so dude. Excited. So you're kind of versed in this. You're, dare I say, an expert in hype and drops. How much do we leak? How much do we say right now?
Dude, honestly, I think just like giving an overall perception of the amount of variety that there is, and like the concept of like what type of variety is involved in this and how it can appeal to like basically everyone in Pulse, I think is like a good way to start leaking it and just kind of like being like, yeah, I mean, like if you're into this coin, if you're into this coin, this type of thing, like we got something for you type thing. Like I think that type of hype is solid. But not too much. But I think that type of hype is definitely solid.
Okay. So yeah, so let me leak. Dreams and Mintra have been working on some really cool art. And this art encompasses a variety of communities within Pulsechain, including, but not limited to, Pulsechain, Hex, Mintra, Tangang, HOA, Incentive Token, and a couple others. So it's a way of identifying, it's a way of flexing a digital collectible in a way that you feel something, that you feel part of something, because beyond that, digital collectibles have little meaning, I would argue. I would say that they're supposed to make you feel like part of something, or make you feel something at the least. And that's the disconnect I feel like a lot of the crypto communities have with reality, if you will, is just you want to feel something. The space has evolved enough to where utility is cool, memes are cool, but you want to go a little beyond that, and you want to make people feel something, give them an experience. If you want to really go beyond just the basics, and we're really doing our best to make sure we launch something just good, right? Really good, and something people can relate to, something people can be proud of owning and flexing. And we've already seen hints of that in the Pulsechain NFT community. Like Dreams yourself, you've launched a ton of NFT collections, which I've been just stoked to mint. Like when you're like, yo, I'm launching this, 100 NFTs, 100 days of NFTs. I was not even at my main PC, and I whipped out my laptop, and I was there minting. I minted a couple of those, or like 3 or something.
Yeah, I
And
loved how that all rolled out. Like, I think that whole entire concept, like the whole entire the time I was rolling out too, I feel like there was a lot of people that were like watching it, and they were like anticipating certain days. So it was like very, very competitive. And I felt like when people were not getting the days they wanted, and like we're getting like fucked up, I think it added like another layer of like just like volatility of like how funny the shit is, because like people were like trying to get like certain days, and people would just like fucking ram the fuck out of the buy button and be like, I want this day, and like they buy it, like everyone was trying to buy it at a certain time. So I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, I think
oh
it was
yeah,
like a really interesting like community like experience to see what everyone ended up with.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, I think experiences, I think that's like honestly the next like direction to like honestly just NFTs in general, like to the masses. I think just making an experience within a community for people to enjoy, I think, is the main concept around NFTs, honestly. And then secondary is obviously the next probably concept for me, in my opinion. I think secondary is like very important. There's like some artists out there who are like, cool, we sold out the first part of it, cool, on to the next drop. And for me, it's like, but
Right.
like secondaries there, like I want to make sure like people who are trying to like invest and maybe want to like pull a profit to like support me more on other drops, or like seeing secondary volume. Like I like really like am for secondary. I think it's a great thing and it should exist, and not should be just like kind of like looked at like, oh, okay, cool, we sold out, on to the next drop type thing. So I think that whole entire like perspective of that mixed with like just gamified experiences and like all of that is definitely the future.
Yeah, no, I see that. It's about continuing to provide, whether it's value or experience, or they're synonymous in a way, to the users. Like, and I don't know what kind of opinion this is, whether it's popular or unpopular, but I feel like giving free NFT mints to people who have minted a base collection is value, is utility itself. And however that plays out, whether you just want to own more from the artist, or whether the accumulation of these NFTs value on secondary is worth more than the initial mint price. Like I know Tangang does this really well, where like, okay, if you own this one NFT, now you can own this one, no, or mint this one, and then you can mint this subsequent one, and then you can continue minting to the point where, let's say the initial mint was, I don't know, a million pulse, but you got 10 free collections, like 10 free NFTs from subsequent collections that are worth 300k pulse each. now you in a way got 3 million pulse of value off of 1 million. So it's just about continuing and like just keep going, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I do think that's the case as well. Like being able to like give value over amount of time and show that like, hey, this is how it's gonna all roll out. Like, come on for the journey, you know, type thing.
Pretty much. And yeah, in a way, it's like you're betting on them sticking around and continuing to just do cool shit. Which
Yeah. There's
I
some
feel
people
like
out there who
that's
just straight
almost
up
anything.
invest just to be like, this is a cool concept. I want to see more of this in the space. So I'm gonna put my money into this because this is cool. And like there's people who think like that too. Like there's plenty of people who just like are like, I'm just gonna throw money at this because I like it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that, because that's truly how I feel about most of the NFTs I've minted. I never really expect ROI. If I'm being completely honest, it's like, sure, if it comes, it's cool, but I'll give the analogy to real world collectibles. I have a few Funko Pops. You know what those are, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course you do. And yeah, I don't expect to sell them. I don't expect to make money off them. You know, a $10 Funko Pop. I just have it in my office and it's just chilling there. And I just think it's cool. And yeah, I feel like a lot of the people who scream like, give me more utility, where's the utility in this NFT? It's like, well, you were supposed to mint it just because you thought it was cool. And yeah, if it gives ROI, if it gives profit, amazing. But I don't know. I just like to have certain things,
I
and
also
I feel like that's enough.
I also think like there's another concept around NFTs, which is like being able to rep certain areas of crypto, like certain coins and stuff. And like that is like a whole entire another like situation too, where like people just want to be proud to like have a certain NFT that's representing a certain thing, because that's where their value is in, you know, and it's not basically an NFT, but it's in what it represents. And so I think that's another like way people look at NFTs as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you reminded me of NFTs with DeFi type utility, where like let's say you provide liquidity on like a Uniswap V3 or a fork of that, like a 9mm, then you get an NFT that represents that liquidity position, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Or like the HSI, which is like a hex stake, you can turn that into an NFT. And you have an NFT that represents that hex stake. I feel like NFTs that represent ERC20s, tokens themselves, are a whole different arena of NFTs. And you kind of see that play out with ERC 404s too. I don't know how familiar you are with those or if you've dabbled in them. Like, I'm curious what your take is on those, because you do more traditional, just like art. Let's go. Versus a lot of these like DeFi tech bros do 404s and try to, you know, do liquidity plays and do token plays, and it's a whole. Is it a different beast, or is there
I feel
a
like
similarity?
I feel like it is definitely a different beast, but I think like combining like that world with like actual just straight up NFT artists, like NFT drop artists, and like combining the two is like very can be very volatile if done the right way. Like there's been coins that have been reached out to me since I've been in Pulse, being like, hey, like let's get you on this coin and like making you art for this coin. And it's like
Mm.
feel like these coins want to like have a certain level of quality of art when they're like about to go live and stuff, and they want to prep for it. So I feel like there's some interesting stuff there with mixing those two like things together.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll agree there, because there shouldn't be as much as a disconnect as there is, in my opinion, between the two. It should be, if you're doing an NFT and you want to do utility, also have cool art. I will shout out Uniswap V3 and their liquidity positions for that, because I like the art on their NFTs. It's not your traditional art. It's more here. Let me just show it actually. One sec. Because share screen, application window. Here, can you see this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So these are cool. you know, different gradients. They show the curve, they show the data. It's like a good blend, I feel like, between the idea of a digital collectible and also utility within an NFT where it represents underlying tokens versus something like an HSI. Like I love Hedron, I love Hex Stakes, I love Alex from Hedron, but they're all the same. And it's cool, but if they were all unique, it'd be even cooler. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
With
Oh yeah.
HSIs.
If that was like,
Like,
there are some crazy ones out there with like other stuff around the. Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be crazy.
yeah,
That collection could go so hard. It's like Ready 3D, which is super cool to begin with. You know.
right? It's
Yeah.
already 3D. But it doesn't, the art does not depend on the amount of hex staked or the length of the T shares, which I feel like it should.
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
I don't
Like,
know if you
I
can
feel like there
change
should be
that,
tiers.
but yeah.
I definitely feel like there should have been like tiers to it, where like if it's this
Yeah.
amount, it's this one, you know, type thing. For sure, I definitely feel
Yeah, I feel
like.
that. Like Uniswap V3 killed it. I'll just continue giving them their flowers for that because like they have different gradients, they have different, you know, art depending on the underlying ERC20 tokens. And like even the ERC 404s, it's all the same art. And it's like, all right, well, I don't know. I feel like it's early for that kind of utility slash beauty when it comes to certain NFTs. But
Yeah, letting people like enjoy knowing their position with a type of quality of art they own for the position they're at, type thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I feel it. That might be early.
It's pretty early. Dope. Yeah. So ETH ETF incoming. I'm stoked. Um we all know, or many of us may not know, that the good old Richard Hart owns 170,000 ETH. Excuse me. The Pulsechain Sacrifice wallet owner owns 170,000 ETH at an average price of about what, $3,800. So we're hoping ETH goes 4K plus. And at that point, Pulsechain becomes a giga leverage play on ETH, which I am bullish on. Again, I will reiterate, after the BTC ETF back in January at 42K per Bitcoin, it went up to 67 to 70K, actually 73K, excuse me. So a similar pump on ETH would go to $6,000 per ETH, which at that point, what's 6,000 times 170,000? Oh yeah, buddy. That would be, wow. So a wallet who owns 170,000 ETH at a cost basis of 3,700 say per ETH is about 643 million, would turn into $1 billion. So that's almost a 2x. It's an extra 300 or 400 million in capital. And we all know Richard Hart doesn't like to lose. He likes to win, aka his Twitter handle, Richard Hart win. He wins. And Hex went up 10,000x. And so we're hoping Pulse does at least a fraction of that. But yeah, I've been bullish on Pulsechain even before it launched, man. When it was just an idea in July of 2021, I want to say. Man, we really waited 2 years for this thing to launch. And yeah, people have had very, very profitable positions in the history of the chart because the biggest players got about 25,000 pulse per dollar. The smallest players got about 10,000 pulse per dollar in the pre-sale, and we've seen as high as 3 zeros and a 3, which is about a 7x for the biggest players and about a 3x for the smallest players. Point being, those have been profitable positions that people could have cashed out on. And if you're crying about prices being down now, well, they're still above the biggest player positions. So most people have had the opportunity to cash out profits buy back lower, cash out profits, buy back lower again. So I don't know. As much as people say, oh no, the price is down, I see it as a very, very healthy chart. And I see the movements that the SAC wallet has done as very bullish movements, where you see every time that Pulsechain SAC wallet has been in profit on different occasions, it's done things to the chart, very bullish things. So for example, that USDT USDC arbitrage back in, I honestly can't name the actual month, but I believe it was 2020, like late 2022 or early 2023, when USDC and USD or excuse me, when USDC and DAI depegged. Do you remember that, Dreams, when they went to like 88 cents instead of a dollar?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was watching my Twitter, watching people tweet about that. I was like, oh damn, okay.
Did you freak out, or you
I
hold
was
steady?
seeing people make gains. Yeah, I was like still early. I was still pretty early into this whole Twitter space, to be honest, around that time. But yeah, I was like watching it. And I was like, damn, people are making gains. Got it.
There you go. Yeah, man. Like a lot of people freaked out because that's never happened in that way before. And yeah, they went to 80 cents or something like that. And the good old Pulsechain SAC wallet had a bunch of, they were diversified between the stable coins, USDC, USDT, and DAI. And USDC and DAI, they dipped to 80 cents or around there. USDT, for some reason, stayed the same. It didn't dip. It stayed at $1. So what this wallet did is it bought a bunch of DAI and USDC with its USDT for a discount. And then it waited until that went back up. And it made about, I can't remember, to be honest. I think it was about $8 million in profit. And then you see about $8 million worth of capital just pump the price of Pulsechain around January of this year. So you're like, this wallet does smart plays in the market and then pumps Pulsechain core tokens with that profit. It never uses the full stack, which is really interesting to see. It never uses the main stack to pump. It mainly uses historically only profits, which is quite interesting to see, especially after it bought 170,000 Ethereum. It's a lot of, I think that's more than Vitalik himself has.
Jesus, that's fucking
Freaking
crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Execute. That's the question.
Execute.
They executed the fuck out of that. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, execute. D Bunny is the person who actually got me into Pulsechain.
Oh yes, the chat. Yes.
Yeah, she's the one who was like, "Yo, Dreams, come to Pulsechain," and I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll come." And then I came, and then I was like, "What's up, everyone?" And then, yeah, then I stayed.
Shout out D Bunny 19 _.
Hell yeah.
Nah, she's awesome. John Luck says, "Hey Xigans, good to see more Gerardo content. You guys holding up okay?" I'm holding up all right. How about you, Dream? You holding up all right?
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're okay. Okay, cool. And then he also says, dudes, I was late to Hex, bought a bunch at 42 cents, staked, Sacre Pulsex, hammered on all our age investments. Very small part of the overall portfolio, no biggie. Well, I like to hear that. No biggie. Yeah, buying the top is never fun. The only comfort I can give you is the classic Richard Hart story where he bought Bitcoin at like $30 and then it dipped to $2, which is a fat dip. But then it went to, like 70K. So I feel like in the long term, you're okay. A year in, 2 years in, it might just suck and be awful. But yeah, give it. I hate to say this, but give it 5-10 years. That's really what your investment horizon should look like. Not financial advice for crypto. It's just many years is almost a replacement for your 401k, if that's still a thing. But yeah, feel like crypto is a default alive thing, especially when it comes to things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the RH ecosystem, where you could just ignore it for years, come back later, and you're probably up. But historically speaking, for things like Bitcoin and ETH, after 4 years, you're always up. I think that still holds true. So if it's been less than 4 years, don't trip. If it's been more than four, it's okay to be concerned, in my opinion. But yeah, many of us are so new to crypto where we haven't even been through a full cycle. So
Yeah, I feel like honestly,
let
like
alone two, yeah.
it's crazy like to think about like all the coins out there, right? And then think about like, well, which one has gone mainstream? And it's like BTC has and ETH has.
Mm-hmm.
So has Doge a little bit, you know, but like it's like there's like so many coins out there, and it's just because those are the oldest coins, and that's why they are where they are, just because they've been around for a hot minute, you know. So yeah, I can agree to all that.
Oh yeah. They're old and they're good. Like, I mean, Ethereum, man. It's been around since 2015, and the vision was good and the execution was good. And Vitalik's a genius, you know. He launched this thing where you can now have, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a Turing complete blockchain. You can have smart contracts, you have logic, you have this and that. Like if you try to build something on Bitcoin, it's really freaking hard. Most people have tried and failed and moved on to Ethereum, realizing it's way easier to build on ETH.
It like
Even
sucks
Richard
too. Mm-hmm. That shit sucks as an artist, like trying to like build on Bitcoin. Like you want to as an artist, and like there are people out there that are like straight up like minting like art pieces on Bitcoin for like $600-$700, you know, USD.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's a thing, like there's ordinals and stuff and like all that, but like
Exactly.
It's so hard, it's so complicated. Like I literally, as a 3D artist, have to like send my files over to someone who can like micro compress everything, and it's like it's so ridiculous. But yeah, continue.
No, I would love to get into Bitcoin ordinals. I've just never seen a proper pathway or guide or anyone. I know Execute, he's in the chat. He was in the chat at least like 5 minutes ago. Who asked you who got you into Pulsechain? He's a multi-chain guy. I love Execute. He's into ordinals, he's into like Ethereum NFTs, Pulsechain NFTs. Like he's the most multi-chain and open-minded you'll get when it comes to just, you know, different blockchains, the best blockchains, I would argue. And yeah, no, Bitcoin ordinals are fascinating. You've seen huge volume with those, and Bitcoin's obviously the big dog. You know, it kind of leads the market. Bitcoin dominance has been pumping for the last couple of years. It's I wish I knew more about that. I know Magic Eden, for example, they started on I think Solana, then they branched out to Ethereum, and then now they're doing Bitcoin ordinals as well. So as the founder of an NFT marketplace, like huge respect to Magic Eden for going multi-chain. You know, it's been a thought for sure for Mintra. It's just like a huge infrastructure upgrade and update. And but yeah, if we could support Ethereum NFTs and Bitcoin ordinals, that would go crazy. I know Magic Eden has absolutely killed it with that. We're going multi-chain with Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. So
with Magic Eden too is like, yeah, they're definitely like trying to like tread water with what they're doing. I feel like compared to like some of these other ETH like ETH based platforms, I'm just honestly just sticking to ETH and then maybe a little bit of base, but like I feel like they're definitely going out of their way to like get to other places.
Yeah, now you have base and these other L2s. I'll be honest, I don't know about these L2s, man. They rely on centralized relayers for the tech, and it's just I don't know, man.
There's no community there, dude. I like literally was like on a search for base communities, and like they exist, right? But like I just don't think they have strong community like Pulsechain does, for example.
Interesting.
I just don't think it's there. Like as an artist, like trying to go to base and being like, okay, where's all the base people at? Where are all the base artists? And it's like they're like very thin. I don't know. Like everything's just very thin. It's just kind of like a hit or miss type feeling. But with like when I came here to like Pulse, I was like, it was like hits. I was like, cool. Like I see it. I see the communities. I see the people. Like I can see the growth. I can see actually like where everyone is. But on base, it's just like kind of just this empty feeling.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. I like having a take from someone who's not a core Pulsechain cult maxi, because you've been on Ethereum, you've been on, I think you've deployed on Solana, right? Have you done NFTs on Solana or no?
I've done a little bit on BTC, a tiny bit. Like I did like one.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I've even been in eGold. eGold was an interesting little community to for a second.
Wow.
So but yeah, I've been all over the fucking place.
Yeah. So it's interesting seeing the cultural take on another blockchain like Base, because I can mainly hit you from the technical, which points, but yeah, L2s that rely on centralized parties they're kind of antithetical to the idea of what a blockchain is. Like at that point, why are you even on a blockchain? And I get maybe it's the hype of being on a blockchain, maybe it's the liquidity, it's the culture, like that's cool. But if you're just, disrespecting the tech on such a fundamental level to where you're not even decentralized anymore, like I don't know. The idea of a centralized blockchain just it leaves a weird taste in my mouth. It feels just like an oxymoron.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah. Execute asked another question. Question for both of you. Do you see inscription on-chain artifacts playing a role on Pulsechain? Yeah, I'll go first and say absolutely. I know there was a project, I think it was called Pulsescriptions, which was intended to be Pulse inscriptions, where the art is purely on chain. I think that's cool. It's definitely more of a purity play, because the least pure, I guess you can have, is a an NFT contract on a blockchain pointing to just a site, a picture that can be changed at any moment. And then you go up to more decentralized and you have metadata on a blockchain pointing to IPFS, which is not a blockchain, but it is a decentralized file sharing network. So you get a little better there. But then if you have the art purely on chain, like inscriptions, it is more expensive to mint and whatnot. But definitely, I would say one of the purest forms of NFTs you can have. But you do have your limits in the amount of data that can fit in a given transaction or block. So then you're kind of forced to do more pixelated art, which is fine, but it's definitely a limit. So yeah, you have your limit there, but it is pure. It is decentralized.
So what's interesting from my take from this, after being in Ordinals a little bit, is people are doing like getting like files, like certain files where they're able to like store more information into than uploading them. Like I think they're doing like certain types of files. I forgot what they're called. But anyways, like they're coding files and coding in like pictures and images to be able to store more information through a link. But at that point, I don't think it's like, on chain necessarily as much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is weird, like
Yeah,
fine
absolutely.
line that they're like trying to do to get more information out there, so you can have more stuff within the NFTs. But I don't know. I feel like for like big projects that are like actually wanting quality in their like work, I don't think it's going to last for that if that's how the space starts heading. But if it's gonna stay pixelized and kind of memey, then I think it definitely has a place to be.
Yeah, if you want like some crazy 3D like the what were those? The Pulse rocks, I think, or the rune stones. The rune stones on Pulsechain, or you can like rotate it. It's 3D. I think it's a GLB file. Like that. I'm sorry. To get that purely on chain is close to an impossibility. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to see someone do it. It would be a new dawn, but I don't think that's feasible at the moment. And so yeah, it really depends on the trade-off between density of an art file in literal bytes versus decentralization and purity and being fully on chain. So yeah, give it maybe like a few hundred years. I'm just kidding. Like, I don't know. But I'd love to see a point where you have fully on chain, like high density, heavy files.
I think honestly the conclusion to it all is just there needs to be like more file types out there for people. Like once there's like more file types being like built, I feel like they're gonna be able to bench stuff a lot more. I think that's honestly just the main issue with everything right now is that there's only so many file types out there, and there's people trying to like push past the limits of what the file types can even like do. For me personally, that's where I'm at, and I don't know if this is like true of other 3D artists, but like I'm like trying to do like 10 things at once, so maybe that's just why I'm at this point. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Anyways, I have to step out, but I enjoyed being on the space with you and talking to you and talking to all the peeps here. I appreciate
it. All good, man. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Do you want to take a guess at how many people are alive on X right now listening to us?
I have no idea. I'm not. I'm gonna guess like 50.
YouTube is dead. It's like 13, but X is like 600.
Oh shit.
I know, right?
All right, that's chill. Cool. Well, shout out to all you 600 peeps. I love you all. And yeah, I was glad I was able to be on this space with you and chat and talk to all the questions that came in.
Hey, shout out to you, bro. Shout out Dreams. I'll drop your link, your X link here in the chat because apparently X is the place to be. Just look at the ratio, man. 613. It's no joke. Thank you, Elon.
Hell yeah. Love it. Alrighty. Peace, right, y'all.
Yeah, peace. Let's go, man. No, Dreams is the literal GOAT. I'm going to drop this link right now. StreamYard. Boom! Go follow him. Go follow his ass. Let me get back to the chat. I agree with your horizon, says John Lux. This bull run only has 16 months left. RH wash. A wash. Define that for me, please. 16 months. I relatively agree with you. Q4 of 2025. Q4 of the post-halving year. It's a good time. It's a good time. But I mean, if you saw last cycle, what happened? Here, let me share a screen. Actually, let me just describe it qualitatively. Last cycle, what happened? Ethereum and BTC pumped to all-time highs, pumped to their in May of 2021, or April and May respectively. Same thing, right? And then what happened to Hex? It was still chilling at 1 cent, and then it ran to 50 cents. Just look at the Richard Hart, Eric Wall interview, and you'll get an idea of what's up. You let Ethereum run. You do some X's, and then you pump your favorite tokens with that Ethereum that did X's. I'll leave it at that. I'll just hang out. Got a lot of other RH tokens that have done really well. I just mentioned RH content. He is a blast. Dude, he's a smart motherfucker. I love RH streams. I miss them too. Let's hope we get some. All these new VC tabs. Some interesting L2. Native yields unique. Yeah, I see that. Thanks, streams. Let's go. All right, guys. What do we do? Should we share a chart? What do y'all want to do? We got the new FOMC meeting coming in about 8 days. 9 days or so. And the probability of a rate cut is 2.6%, which is very low. The probability of rates staying the same at the bond market on cmegroup.com is about 97.4%. So if you look at that, the probability of a rate cut in September 18th of this year is about 88.5%, according to just do with that what you will. The best channel to learn about this stuff, I would say, is Into the Cryptoverse. Benjamin Cowan, he does a really good job. He does 30-40 minute videos sometimes on this stuff, and he just gets passionate and talks about the relationship between inflation, interest rates, GDP, a lot of macroeconomic indicators as they relate to things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, altcoin seasons, and whatnot. So I would definitely give bro a watch into that kind of stuff, because I like to touch on it slightly, and then I like to refer to the experts, as any intellectually honest person should do. So let me drop that in the chat. But yeah, shout out Lo-Fi Dreams, man. The absolute GOAT. He's doing some amazing, I said, for Mintra, and I've said that a bunch of times, but you guys will see. We're really doing our best to just bring communities together, man. It's as cringe as this sounds, we are all in this together. The Pulsechain community, we want to win. So we want to see crypto win in general. We want to see EVMs like Ethereum win, because we're obviously a leverage play on them economically speaking. We want to see artists on our chain win, because why wouldn't you? We just want to see the protocols win, the good protocols, like Pulsechain, like Pulsechain, like Mintra, like it's just you want to see your fellow brothers win, and if you don't, then that's a whole other issue. But yeah, let's look at the Pulsechain chart, shall we? Let me share my screen. Present, share screen. Screen one, share. Cool. So this is the Pulsechain versus USD chart. What do you guys think? I'm curious what your thoughts are. And then I can tell you what my thoughts are. So my thoughts are, we haven't sustainably gotten above our 20-day moving average for a minute, right? This whole dip, below it, resistance, resistance, below it, resistance, fake out, we're above it, just kidding, below it, resistance, below it, resistance, below it. And now, this is the longest we've been above it since the recent local top at 3 zeros in it too, right? So we're above it. We broke this range high, and now hopefully we can find support on it if we go there again. And then we can look at some other indicators. We can look at things like the super trend, which again, during this fake out, we broke above the average. We had our super trend turn green for a while. Then it went flat. Then we broke beneath it. Super trend changes back to red. This is the first time we've seen super trend actually trend up since our local high. So that's good news. And coincidentally speaking, our super trend is aligning nicely with our 20-day moving average and our 21-day moving average. which is about, 4 zeros and a 4-5, which is roughly around the best sack rate that all these whales got. So the 4-5 to 4-4 region would be a region I would be looking at if you are looking to buy on a dip. Again, no guarantees that it'll actually go down there. But if you are a bear and expect prices to continue going down, then I would be looking at that region. And then you have a lot of other indicators to look at, which many of them are bullish. MACD, bullish. Arun, bullish. SMI, bullish. DMI, bullish. These are all on the daily, right? RSI, above the 50 mark, bullish. And again, the daily time frame isn't the only time frame. You could go a 3-day, you could go a weekly, and things change for sure. But yeah, that's up to your discretion for sure. John Luck says you're on deck screener. Maybe go to the Pulse token list, rifle about some projects. Yeah. Let me know what projects you want me to talk about, and I might. But the last time the super trend actually went up like this was around this time, back in September of 2023. It went up after a downtrend, I will say, because last time it went up, it was around our uptrend. But I'm saying last time we had a downtrend, and the super trend reversed from going down like this to going up like this was around September 2023. And if you actually look closely, again, we're on a daily time frame, so take this with a grain of salt. Look at this. July 2023. Super trend flipped to bullish, but it was kind of a fake out because we went down and then we went flat, similar to June last month, down and flat. Fake out, we went lower. And then, super trend goes up after our low. So it's low. This 4 zeros and a 3-6. It really is. Non-financial advice, but it's a convincing low. And after that, we went from 3.5 all the way to a 7x above that, 6 to 7x above that. And there's confluence between that and the current ETH ETF, which is about to launch tomorrow. And again, like I said, what happened in Bitcoin? Bitcoin ETF launched around January of this year when we were chilling around 42K. And then we went all the way up to 70K, which is about a 75% pump. And if Ethereum does the same thing, then it'll go to 6K, which is above all-time highs and would follow Bitcoin as it has done for cycles prior. So that's really nice to see. Quite nice to see. John Lux is hitting me with a bunch of tickers. Yeah, I don't really follow any of those tickers, to be honest. Execute. I dig your sites. How to see the rainbow part of Hex. I used to look at Bitcoin ETH. Yeah, execute. That was a logarithmic regression chart. And if I'm being honest, statistically speaking, that was kind of charging about after multiple cycles. And Hex is literally one bull cycle and currently going through one bear cycle. So if you look at when the logarithmic regression charts were made for ETH and BTC, they were after 2 or more cycles. So it was premature to make that. And yeah, it was premature to make the Hex logarithmic regression chart. And I will apologize for that. Rounded bottoms pay the bills, says Liberty or Death. So look good as it said execute. Yeah, I feel like if you were to do a logarithmic regression chart, it wouldn't be as simple as just the way BTC did it. It would be something along the lines of combined hex. And some people will hate on that, but combined hex is an interesting metric to look at. And I will say that I need to make a tweet on the LookIntoHex update, which is combined hex. So those up here, I want to show you something. Let's get rid of many of these charts, yeah? Let's get rid of everything except ETH and BTC. And here's EHEX, right? But as you know, in May of 2023, Pulsechain launched, and therefore Hex on Pulsechain, commonly known as PHEX, launched as well. Which, how long ago was that? A year and 2 months and some change, which is, 440-ish days. So about day 1240 or so. Let's look at like when actually this shit launched. Around here. At that point, EX already had some ROI going for it. And so at that point, you can look at something like your combined hex. And shout out to GameSys, one of our main LookIntoHex devs, who has introduced combined hex, liquid, and stakes. So if you look at combined hex, liquid, or staked, they're both around the same point where Bitcoin was at day 427 after launch. Execute says, shouldn't combined hex be stopped being talked about because it's hard to understand? It is definitely harder to understand than just your normal coin. I'll agree with that. But the people who've been around since 2019 can definitely understand it. The new people for sure should look at something like right? If they just bought PHEX after Pulsechain launch, or PX share if they're staked, or EHEX or EHEX share if they've been around since 2019. But if you've been around since 2019, you held through the fork, then combined hex liquid, combined hex stake are definitely metrics that are significant to you, that are relevant to you, which I would be comfortable looking at if I were, which I am, a holder of hex through the fork. So we're doing pretty all right, and I definitely need to make combined hex liquid, combined hex staked. Execute. In my opinion, it feels like brand tarnishing in BTC ETH Bros talk about combined prices of old. I agree there. I will agree with that. Though I will say they were early, right? If you're early Bitcoin bro, you just won. If you're an early ETH bro, you just won. If you're an early Hex bro, you kind of won too. You won. But I guess the argument I'll say against that, about not showing these combined ROIs is it's a different era. that might be a cop out, but you know, I would argue things like a BNB or a Tron. They were ones who launched an ERC20 on Ethereum, and then they launched their own blockchain with their native coins. You know, your BNB and your TRX. And Hex did the same thing. There were a few coins who stood the test of time who initially launched as ERC20 tokens on Ethereum and then eventually launched their own chain. Difference being, we didn't launch a Hex chain. It was Pulsechain, where Hex exists on, where Hex is clearly one of the primary tokens on said chain. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the BNB and TRX played out. Right? Did they duplicate tokens or did they just have a migration of tokens? That's a really good question that I should probably be versed on, which I'll look into after the stream. But yeah, execute. I appreciate you, man. Like, I'm happy to have you on. I would love to have you on a stream and just chat. Because you're one of the smarter people I know in the ecosystem who are doing a bunch of things, multi-chain and tokens, NFTs, this and that. You've been on a few spaces on Twitter with me, and yeah, happy to have you on, man. Combined Hex. I love me some Combined Hex. But yeah, LookIntoHex is getting better every day. Let me know what charts you want to see on LookIntoHex, by the way. We're entering a period where our infrastructure is so good where we can add charts pretty quickly, given what we've built already. Hey, yo, by the way, I'll be right back. Stick around. Yo, all right, I'm back. Just had to pee. I'm a new man. Execute, I'm down whenever. Yeah, man, like just hit me up, Twitter, Telegram, whatever. Happy to have you on. What do you think about that BTC ETH? Are you talking about the ETH BTC chart? I can definitely look at that. Execute again. I went in heavy 4 weeks ago into ETH from BTC. Think the Mount Gox might make it go lower, and the ETF should bring it up, maybe close to flipping. That's a decent play. Yeah, absolutely. I remember people were speculating when a bunch of Bitcoin was selling at like 70K, they're like, oh my God, that's Richard. And then he bought a bunch of ETH, and it's like, okay, people don't realize that might have literally just been a rotation from BTC to ETH when everyone's focused on USD values. But yeah, I think ETH BTC is such an interesting chart, man. Here, let me pull it up. It's such an interesting chart because you see my lines on it, right? Let me get rid of that. It's an interesting chart because it hasn't had a new all-time high since 2017, which at this point is 7 years, over 7 years. But at the same time, we haven't had a new low since 2019, which is about 5 years. So it's in this tightening formation on a macro scale, but at the same time, it has outperformed Bitcoin in each previous cycle. So see, you don't need a flippening to outperform Bitcoin. Even if during the cycle, ETH BTC just doubles and doesn't make a new all-time high, but still outperforms Bitcoin, you would have been better off in ETH, even though it didn't make a new all-time high. So it's definitely an interesting perspective to look at this ETH BTC chart. And again, I will say that Benjamin Cowan into the Cryptoverse is such a good resource for this because he makes multiple 40-minute, hour-long videos multiple times a week on this exact topic and how it relates to other macroeconomic indicators and charts like interest rates, Fed funds rates, and Bitcoin dominance, and total market cap, DXY, all that good stuff. So I will definitely defer to the experts on this, but overall, I'm more bullish on ETH than I am on BTC in the long term, and that's just me. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll defer to Benjamin Cowan into the Cryptoverse. Shout out to him. But yeah, crazy chart, man. At the merge, what did we see? At like a 0.08. Now we're at 0.05, but we're still looking good and definitely higher than this low of 0.044, higher than this low of 0.03, and so on, right? Execute. It's a swing to me. If I get a 2 to 4x, I'll bring it back to BTC. You know what? And that's fair, man. I feel like a lot of people, including the Pulsechain Hex community, could have done better just being an ETH in the last couple of years, but that's just a cycle kind of thing, right? Like 2021, obviously, Hex outperformed ETH a ton. And then after that, in retrospect, right? Retrospect is 2020. It would have been a good play to pull out to ETH and then, preserve your dollar value there, or Satoshi value, and then go back to Hex on that swing. So it's definitely unpredictable sometimes, but looking back, it's 2020, and ETH is definitely a good play where I bet you most of you are feeling similar to me, where you're just like, I don't have enough ETH. I want more ETH. Should have had more ETH. What do you guys want to look at? CME, interest rates, into the Cryptoverse. It's kind of a paid thing, so I don't know what the terms are on sharing that here live. We could look at Mintra. I already looked into Hex a little bit. Go Pulsechain.com. Shout out to them. Might want to look into that for a bit. Cool site, man. Really cool site. We could look at some Sami videos or so on. But yeah, go Pulsechain.com. These guys just kind of popped up recently. Execute says, sadly, the best play was to go into BNB. It did the best on the way down other than USDC. Yeah, like, again, retrospect is 2020. Yo, I love you, Execute, man. When Mintra on-chain NFTs? if we don't already support inscriptions on chain stuff, then we definitely will soon, because that's kind of an obvious one. Yeah, no, I found this site recently, gopulsion.com, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a cool site. Like, look at that reactive little Pulsechain logo. Nice site. They show some live stats, volume, market cap, price, addresses, transactions, validators, supply, etc. And yeah, they give Mintra a shout out. They have them in the categories, and shout out to them, man. They got everything very, very accurate. Like, it's common to see sites listing Pulsechain projects that have an old logo or an old description or an old graphic or whatnot. But these guys, the logo is the newest, summary is the newest. This art, I mean, I don't even know how they did this, but this is sick. This is definitely not a graphic that we have anywhere. They clearly did some custom stuff here, which is really, really nice. Like, this plant is definitely from Mintra.ai, but these coin icons are definitely unique. And yeah, like, this graphic is super updated. Check out Mintra's blog, official contract addresses, launch, view price. Like, they're killing it. So I appreciate them. Shout out to the newest site, gopulsechain.com. Just give them a follow on Twitter or on X, because they're doing good work. Execute, can't wait. Yeah, man, I can't wait either. Like, Mintra is this thing where it just gets better and better. And we launched with an MVP, and then we updated, and now we have a Marketplace V2, and we're gonna have a Launchpad V2 coming in hot, by the way, very, very soon. Yeah, let me start this. What's up, everyone? Let me start the cam. But yeah, Mintra is this thing where it's constantly updating, it's constantly getting better. And again, the marketplace is already on a V2 where it's approval based listings, industry standard, just approve an NFT or a collection for sale, and you list it and you're on your way, right? It's still in your wallet, etc. So that was a huge gripe from the NFT community when we launched, which is very valid, and we heard you, and we made a whole ass blog post about it, and now we're good. We're live with the contract upgrade. Incoming will be a launchpad upgrade where you will be able to token gate your mints. So what does that mean? It means something like you can only mint this NFT if you own said token or if you own said NFT. And I know Third Web has already done this for a while. We're on par with that. We're on par with Third Web at this point, where we want to become an industry standard, an open source standard. Might have leaked there. But we want to become a standard where people can just launch their NFTs, token gate, have as many parameters to play with as they can. And yeah, I know Third Web is open source. I know Mintra is not. That can change within a day. And yeah, I know Third Web is zero fees. I know Mintra has a little bit of fees for the mint stakers and whatnot. That can also change in an instant. So sure, we're doing a little bit of catching up at Mintra relative to things like Third Web, but we can be on par, if not better than industry standards within, a few weeks, which is really exciting. Ooh, I just realized execute. You've been chatting in the X live stream. I like that. I like that, man. Most people are chatting on the YouTube chat, but I like X more than YouTube. Hmm. All right, man. So we covered BTC, ETH, Pulsechain, Mintra, LookIntoHex, interest rates, go Pulsechain. Like this point, we're chilling. CuckTube is no good. Yeah, man. Yo, we have 1,400 on X and 19 on YouTube. CuckTube is no good, bro. That's actually crazy. Gotta support X. Absolutely. Elon is the absolute GOAT. Shout out Elon, making the world a better place. Let's hit up some Sami videos. Are you guys caught up? Because I'm not. I don't really watch that much Sami, if I'm being honest, though I probably should. Which one should we watch? Together, of course. Are these numbers like peeps just popping in, right? It says dreams. Nah, bro. Like we have 1,400 concurrent. That's what I'm saying. I've never had this on YouTube, even back in my prime, back in 2021, when Hex was like 10, 20, 30, 40 cents. And I was just like, what's next? No, bro. Like YouTube was good to me a couple of years ago, 3 years ago at this point, but X is the way. Like this is live Jesus, I know, right? Mm, killing it. Yeah, the X algo is definitely good to me right now. Let's see, what do we watch? Tommy videos. 99% of my conversations with people. Money printer will send Bitcoin over 100K. Deep state. Love Tommy. He lost $8 million from this one mistake. Crypto to run up between $7 to $10 trillion. Ethereum to 14K. Love that hopium. Joe Biden drops out. Yeah, good old politics. Like, what are we watching, y'all? What are we watching? I'm just gonna click something because y'all are quiet. Hold on. Sure. Hold on. Can you guys hear that? Because that was super loud. Let me know if you can hear it. Bro, why is that so loud? Wait, who is this? Don't know what that was. Mm. Mm. Were you guys able to hear that or no? Can't hear. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna need some coaching on how to get the audio from external videos. Damn. Okay. Okay. Anyways, Sami was just saying how like if price does 100x but liquidity gets pulled 99%, did you really win if you have the same liquidity on a higher price point? It depends, right? It depends on your position size. Like, are you able to pull out the amount you want depending on the liquidity size? I get what he's saying. 40-minute video. I don't know, bro was built like that. Damn. All right. I love how he goes from 2-minute videos to 40-minute videos. All right. Can't hear. Yeah, there's probably not much point in watching these if we can't hear, huh? Should I look up how to? Hold on, I'm gonna chat GPT this real quick. Street art. To YouTube. I'm sharing my screen to watch videos with my viewers. How do I make sure the audio from screen is also able to be heard by my StreamYard feed? Enable audio sharing. Share audio at the bottom left of the screen share select window. I don't see that though. Christopher Andre says, I can't believe I just got out of the mine and almost missed this. What are you mining, bro? Some Bitcoin, some ETH, some Hex? What you mining? Which mines are you in? Enable. Oh, hold on. For Windows. Yeah. Share audio at the bottom left of the screen share selection window. Maybe if I remove it completely and then do present, share screen. Oh, also share tab audio. Yes, absolutely. Of course. Application window. Ooh, I see. So I have to share. Okay. For y'all streamers, when you hit share screen on StreamYard, tab or entire screen are the only ones that allow also share tab audio or system audio. application window, the one I used was the only one that did not have that toggle. So that's really good to know. There we go. Also share tab audio. So let's do that. Boom. Also share tab audio. Okay. I think we're good now. So let's watch the newest. Just dropped an hour ago.
Check it out, baby dolls. Welcoming you back to Crypto's.
So you guys can hear that, right? Yeah, Sammy rocks. No, he's literally the one who made it in terms of Pulsechain / Hex crypto influencer. He's just a funny dude. He's good vibes. Like, that's really what people care about. So let me make sure we can hear this. Yeah.
Just this news, we are looking at the Ethereum spot ETF, which has just been officially signed off for tomorrow trading. That is the end of Tuesday for Metagana. And when it does appear, we're hoping Wall Street start basically pouring in.
We got
There
it.
really is no guarantees when it comes to this, friends. If you look at the Bitcoin price, we have $68,000 and Ethereum still around 3,500, but ETH BTC is still bleeding. First, let's look at this weekly chart with Bitcoin. We're still at around 68K. We're still stuck in the range. I think I remember seeing Crypto Crew University, shout out to Steve. Steve basically said he's like super bullish.
Yo, I love Steve. Crypto Crew University. Okay. There are like less than 5 people who have actually started listening to, continued to listen to, and then after some traumatic dump, continued to listen to after the fact. Richard Hart, hope he comes back. Into the Cryptoverse, Benjamin Cowan, Crypto Crew University, Steve. Though, to be honest, I haven't really listened to him much in the last 6 months. But he has some really good theories, some good charts. Sami is one. And that's about it for anyone who is stuck around a long time, right? I have a few people in mind who've been around for a few months, but I don't want to endorse them, quote unquote, until they've stuck around longer than like a couple of years. So anyways, back to the video.
If we close a week at $69,000 or higher, I think, I don't know, man, everyone's just playing around with the candle colors, friends. Who knows, man? Who knows? Ultimately,
who knows, man? Who knows?
That's it. We're just slaves to Mr. Big Market out there. And what's Mr. Big Market saying? Well, Mr. Big Market, let's check him out. Mr. Russell, it popped up through that high, but it has not broken the high yet. We still need it to go another 10%. 10% is that expansion part. Hopefully that comes in the next few months. And if that comes, traditionally, we start to basically open up crypto. All the liquidity buckets are full, and then everything continues from that point. But if you speak to people out here, can you believe, like, it's so close? They're probably wondering, like, hey, how come I haven't gotten back to my portfolio highs of April 2021? Well, friends, that's just the game of crypto, man. I know it sucks, but look at this. Crypto is only 20% from the all-time high in terms of market cap. Okay, so it peaked at 3 trillion. It's around 2.4 trillion. So, look, just be honest. I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying panic. I'm just telling you, if your portfolio is down more than minus 20% from the all-time high of your number in 2021, you're losing. You're pretty much losing right now. Now, I'm not saying you've lost, just saying you're losing. It's kind of like, it's a playing World Cup match. The other team.
Wait, hold on. How does that make memes great again?
Team's got possession. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what's happening here. The game's not over. Not saying give up. The strategy can still work. Of course, it can still work. There's been many, crypto, man. Crypto slingshot's hard. We're here to make memes great again for kindness and friendship. But I'm just letting you know, this is pretty much how you interpret something like this. Now, obviously, a lot of people will say to me, well, how come, I always got this question, right? How come it's only 20% down lower, but coins like Chainlink are still down 65% lower? Coins like Hex are down 98% lower. Ouch. How come they're all destroyed? Well, as you get to see, friends, like everybody, you want to throw shade at my name, that's okay, man. I don't really care. I'm just here to tell you facts are facts, man. What's the difference between here and here, friends? What's the difference here? Well, the difference is now we have new cycle 1 coins and narrative.
All right. I'm going to stop it there because I'm just going to give some thoughts, right? Lawrence, praying for PLS to fly. Hexfetti does a lot of work. Yeah, Sami's the best. And I'm praying for PLS to fly as well. One thing I will say is last time we were at this level, it's looking like, you know, Q3, Q4 of 2021, which was the top. Pulsechain did not even exist then. So, like, I love Sami. Your friend Sami, bro. Friendship confirmed. I love Sami's market cycle theories. However, Pulsechain and every coin on the Pulsechain network they're on cycle 1, and he's probably getting into that, right? The C1 cycle 1, but they didn't exist back here. So sure, we had the sacrifice phases back around this time. Do those prices relative to sacrifice prices, do these theories apply to things like Pulsechain and Pulsex? See, that's the thing. Like, he has some great theories, but do these theories apply to the coins we care about? Some of his theories absolutely apply, but things like this that go back multiple years, again, it's similar to the Hex logarithmic regression chart. It's like you need to see multiple cycles of a coin play out to be able to say certain things, predict certain things. Anyways, I'm yapping, I'm rambling. Let's keep watching the video.
Okay. And these are now cycle 2. That's what's happened. All right. So that's basically the constituents. So what makes up the total crypto industry? It's change itself, because you can't invest in an index right now. The index is pretty much Bitcoin and Ethereum, and everything else you kind of have to guess if they're going to be relevant or irrelevant. You know, Solana, BNB have done well, but what about the other coins? Cardano destroyed, heaps of other coins from the top 10. I mean, like Hex made it to the top 10, and then Hex got destroyed, minus 98%. See what I mean? So yes, that's why a crypto index would be very beneficial for the whole industry, because then you basically punt on the whole industry without getting destroyed. The thing is, though, by the time they put a crypto index in, it means there's a lot of like tokens in there which probably have a use case, utility, people trust, people know, and by then the volatility is gone. So you're not going to get these big growth rates, and you're here to change your life. And remember, friends, changing your life doesn't just mean hoping for higher prices. It means you still have to do the hard work. We've done all the research. Watch my ultimate bull market strategy guide. I've gone through that many times. This is the Ethereum monthly chart. You can see it's at least doing some kindness and friendship. We changed to a weekly as well. We need it to keep going up. Remember, it's Ethereum's 3rd cycle. We have the different fib levels. I just want to remind you, okay, friends, the first fib extension, 7,300 for ETH. If we repeat and we don't diminish from last cycle, we end up around here, $13,000 to $14,000. Okay, this is a non-log linear chart. This is non-log. This is linear.
Hold up. Let's listen to that again. One sec. What?
Ethereum monthly chart. You can see it's at least doing some kindness and friendship. We changed to a weekly as well. We need it to keep going up. Remember, it's Ethereum's 3rd cycle. We have the different fib levels. I just want to remind you, okay, friends, the first fib extension, 7,300 for ETH.
The first fib extension is 7,381 USD per ETH on ETH. Think about that for a second. Again, I'll always go back to the 170,000 Ethereum that the Pulsechain SAC wallet has. What's 170,000 ETH times 7,381.72? That's 1.2 billion USD. That's pretty much double the amount that was sacked in liquid coins, non-hex liquid coins for Pulsechain. We'll leave it at that. Let's keep watching.
If we repeat and we don't diminish from last cycle, we end up around here, $13,000 to $14,000.
$13,000 to $14,000 per ETH. Let's say 13,700, right? 170,000 ETH. That's 2.3 billion USD.
Okay, this is a
give me that hopium, buddy. Come on.
Non-log linear chart. This is non-log. This is linear chart around here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll learn. This is the exact line if we don't diminish from the previous cycle. And if you've been watching my videos, that is a total distance of a 4x of Ethereum from today. That's if we get there, we don't diminish. I hope, friends, I really, really hope we do. We obviously we blow the diminishing and we go above that. That'd be crazy, but we'll see, because it's getting harder and harder, friends. There's a lot more liquidity, market caps, and everything putting on. You got to ask yourself as well, why would introducing an ETF start to make things go more parabolic than in the past when they have already like hundreds of millions of people? Okay, just
by the way, shout out 1,800 fucking viewers here on X. You guys are insane. Holy wowza. Like, let's fucking go, dude.
It makes you think about it logically. To go back to that 4x part, so first I've got to play some nice pump music as well. If Ethereum has a 4x to go, so I'll just, let's go back to that chart. If Ethereum, friends, has a 4x to go, which is right here, and this is where you go, by the way, I don't know if it does, okay? This is a 4x, okay? It's 300% is 4x. If Ethereum has 4, okay, altcoins, which I'll put A here, altcoins, okay, you're winning altcoins. So the average altcoin will probably do 8. This is the average. So if you have some 8, okay, some are going to do poopy 5. Some are going to do as well, like 16. They're going to do like 20. They're going to do 24. That's the super winners, okay? W for win. All right, so just to remind you, if Ethereum does 4, the average altcoin does 8. Therefore, if you're doing really well, you're going to get a 16x, okay? And you can actually see this from the others versus ETH.
That's some peanut brain math. You got to love it. Christopher's is great supporter of memes on Pulsechain. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Ratio, which I've charted for you many times, and I'll bring it back for you, which is right here. This is others ETH, okay? This is others ETH. If you don't understand it, I'm not going to bother explaining it. I've explained it 30,000 times for everyone. There's a lot of people. Okay, man, you want to do 15 minutes of crypto research every day? That's not enough, man. We're here 18 hours a day, okay? So look at this, and still not enough, by the way. So here's others ETH ratio, friends. At the top of 2021, you got to this ratio. So what does this 1.14 mean, friends? It means the non-top 10 altcoins were 114% the size of Ethereum's market cap. That's what it is.
Okay. So let me just pause here and give a little bit of an explanation for what Sami's talking about, because he's explained it, as he said, 30,000 times, but I don't think I've explained it even once, so it's only fair to me to do so while I'm watching his video. So when you look at something like a BTC, right? You're looking at the price. When you look at something like a total, right? Ticker total on TradingView, what that means, the definition of that is the market cap of BTC, your Bitcoin, right? Your Ethereum, and all of your altcoins combined. So it attempts to give a metric for the market capitalization of all of the cryptocurrency market. And right now that's sitting at about $2.39 trillion. When you look at something like a total 3, you're looking at the market cap of everything excluding Bitcoin. So the market caps of Ethereum plus every single altcoin combined, which is about 642 billion, clearly less than 2.39 trillion. And then when you look at something like others, it's looking at the market cap of everything excluding BTC and ETH and excluding the top 10 altcoins. So you're looking at everything from the 11th top market cap cryptocurrency and below. So this is degen land, if you will. The others ticker. It's the land of, your Pulsechain and your Hex and your Pulsex and your Mintra token and your incentive token and your freaking, your AI coins and your gaming coins. Others attempts to encapsulate sort of the degen space of crypto, if you will. That's not a Bitcoin, not an Ethereum, again, not your top 10, everything beneath top 10. So that's what he's getting at. And clearly it's because that's what's relevant to a Pulsechain, a Hex, and etc. So if you're looking at any of these market cap, these cumulative market cap charts, and you care about things like Pulsechain, Hex, Pulsex, etc., then others I would argue is one of the most relevant charts in that regard. So let's keep watching this. This is what he means when he's looking at the others chart. And he's going a step further and looking at others versus Ethereum, because why would you hold any other altcoin, including Pulsechain, if it's not outperforming Ethereum? I mean, it's a good point, because you could have just held Ethereum and outperformed, you know, these coins relative to say the merge, right? You're about 50% down from the merge if you were holding coins that existed at that time. And again, Pulsechain did not exist at that time. So there are many nuances, many charts, many ratios you can look at, but I like where Sami's head's at when looking at these kinds of charts and ratios.
Okay. So right now they're 58% of the size. See, this is 0.58 up here. So this is the top, right? 1.14. So that's pretty much how it fluctuates. And a lot of these, we found out they do include a lot of Ethereum hater coins in this others index, which is pretty much just all of the things outside of the top 10. Okay. So you go back to this historically, friends. If you're up here, that's why I did this. Where did I get this 8x from? Look at that. That's a 2x up here. See this? This is a 2x. So what that means is you've done whatever Ethereum does, the average altcoin will probably do around 2. Around 2. By the way, this can screw up. What if Ethereum becomes a black vortex and sends all the altcoins to 0 and Ethereum accepts everything? Ethereum absorbs everything. That's one possibility. I'm just thinking that possibility is less likely because of what happened in the past cycles. Okay, this others ETH has gone up. It's trended up. So if Ethereum does 4, the average altcoin will do 8. Like I say, you're looking for the unicorns. Everyone believes they've got one. We'll see who wins by the end. Now, as we move through that Ethereum ETF approval coming, friends, we're waiting for, let's see if Wall Street like it. People are expecting like 10% of the Bitcoin volume. Remember, Ethereum is more thin. And as well, CNBC, friends, are also talking about.
And so, yeah, he's going to speak very positively about Bitcoin here at the conference.
Do you think that these favorable comments could go so far as to indicate that he'd be open to it being a reserve currency for the U.S.?
Yeah, so there were some rumblings of that on X this week. It could be something that's to get done, but it is possible. The Justice Department holds about 200,000 units of Bitcoin.
There you go, friends. So that's pretty much it. So the Justice Department, they hold 200,000 Bitcoin, and Donald Trump, the Don, is going to speak at the Bitcoin conference, right? July 25, July 27. And then Elon Musk changes eyes to laser eyes, the Bitcoin laser eyes. Plus, his private jet landed in Tennessee. Tennessee. Shout out to everybody in Tennessee, by the way. I love every single one of you. So there's all these basically puzzle pieces and stuff moving around. They're people are thinking, wow, there might be an actual announcement of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. What does that mean? It basically means government will want them to print money and then add it to the balance sheet of sorts. But they already own 200,000 Bitcoin. It's almost 1% of the total supply. It's about 1% of the Bitcoin supply. So that's huge, right? 1% of Bitcoin supply. And yeah, all they might commit to just not selling it. So not selling it might be considered like a hodl. By the way, that's big marketing. So think about every other country, by the way. If America, the US of A, Americana, North, South, West, and East Americana, if they're actually saying that they're going to keep Bitcoin on the balance sheet, it basically automatically tells the German government, well, you're a bunch of PB heads. Everybody tells you a bunch of PB head. If it's good enough for America, if it's
Yo, hold on. No, I love this. Bro has mentioned so many points in the last 2 minutes. So German government sold, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 50,000 BTC. And then, hear me, Bitcoin price just pumped right after, from 55K to 65K, where it is now 67K. Meaning the German government missed out on, I think, $500 million if they just waited and hodled. And Sami here's talking about if a country hodls BTC, it's very, very bullish for the BTC price, and a rising tide lifts all ships. He's saying that the the US government holds about 200,000 BTC, which is about 1% of the supply. And then, as we know, other countries like El Salvador, etc., are holding BTC on their balance sheet, which, if enough countries do this, then you eventually get kind of a supply squeeze, and you get a supply and demand squeeze, and it's just bullish, right? That's what we care about. So I'm going to continue this video, but just wanted to point that out. So
their asset that they're holding, just like gold. Why aren't you holding it?
Right,
Committing to
right.
some of it. That's the type of like speculation we need. That's why we maybe if we do, hopefully, friends, we do get this $200,000, $250,000 Bitcoin. The types of news we'll be seeing at that top. Okay, it's not gonna, you're going to see that good news now. You're going to see it at the top, and it'll be coming in the forms of like, hey, 3 countries have now adopted Bitcoin, and they might even think about Ethereum. Like that's the type of things that'll be popping out. They're all going to be classic top signals, but we'll see. So here was that news for the Ethereum ETF, right? SEC signs off on spot Ethereum ETF for trading. What are the expectations? Well, like I'm not saying it's going to repeat again, but when the Bitcoin ETF happened, we dropped 20%, and then we went up 90%. So
nice.
From 20% from the Ethereum ETF here, and when it was basically after it approved, it was down 20% from the high. So I don't know if it got to like you don't know when to measure these. Let's say
30% from the highs.
It did drop 20%, 2,700. It might be unlikely to do that, but you never know, man. It's crypto. And then it rallies up, 90%? That's like $5,000 Bitcoin, $5,000 Ethereum, sorry. Or it just goes up 90% from up this point. That's $7,000. So we're looking at around the next leg, 5 to 7K, 5,000 to 7,000.
What did I just say earlier? BTC ETF started trading around January of this year. We went from 42K to like 70K, about a 70 to 75% pump. So if we look at that relative to when Ethereum ETF starts trading, which allegedly is tomorrow, from current prices of 3,500 USD per ETH, we're looking at about, what did Sami just say? About $6,000 per ETH. So we're kind of on the same track here.
And a lot of coins are leverage on Ethereum, but a lot of people don't know what that means. It's slingshot leverage, man. Like
right.
You don't get this perfect world where Ethereum goes up and your coin is always outperforming no matter what. You don't get that because it'd be too easy and there's no chaos and randomness of that. Instead, what happens is, and there's no FOMO. Instead, what happens is Ethereum goes up and up and up and up and up, hits a point where it stops, and then wherever the capital is going to disperse, it all rushes in. And then everything acts as leverage on each other, and it basically changes the whole sentiment of the market. It doesn't last forever, but the gains do get explosive relative to Ethereum. That's the most important part. So back in 2020, friends, Ethereum did, from this point 4 years ago, Ethereum went on to do an 11x. All right? 11. So if your coin did 15x, you killed it, because you got 50% on top of Ethereum. That was from the others' ETH ratio, right? So if you did 15 or 20x, you killed it. And anything more, you did really well from exactly 4 years ago. Not measuring from the exact bottom tick, but from exactly 4 years ago. If you're a poopy trash coin, you did like 5 to 10x. That's what XRP basically did. They couldn't do anything. And many other coins, Litecoin and stuff, because they were non-Ethereum friendly. They were Ethereum haters, okay? So right now, though, Ethereum, friends, it did 11x 4 years ago. If it did 11x now, again, it doesn't diminish, and it would flip NVIDIA. That's another problem I have with that. So maybe we do get that 4. Maybe we do get a 4x. I'm hoping we get higher. But if we get 4x, that puts Ethereum at $14,000. We know from the Pulsechain sacrifice, we're all going to have fun there. So it's not all rainy days. And speaking of Pulsechain, friends, everything is still in that rounded off zone. It's kind of funny, man.
Okay. So bro just said, if we get 14K ETH, we all know what that means for the Pulsechain sacrifice address. It's definitely party time. And I did some math earlier, like that 13 to 14K range puts the Pulsechain sacrifice address at about a $2 billion USD valuation, which is just mwah. We all know what that means relative to the money that was raised in ETH, USDC, USDT, and non-hex high liquid coins. So let's continue this.
A lot of people, like everyone,
because now we're getting into the Pulsechain charts, which we're into the good stuff that y'all and I care about.
Absolutely ballistic. All these, they're like, yes. Like, we've got a long way to go. Remember the Pulse ETH ratio, friends. Like, you got to be aware of it, man. So you don't get grifted in the future. We're down 4x. We literally need. So I'm not joking. I will not be smiling. I'll be smiling, of course, but I will know. Like Pulsechain, literally, friends, our break even is here. We literally need to get to 2x day one take. This is free money for every non-believer to buy. everybody who hates Richard, hates you, thinks you're stupid, thinks you got scammed, they're literally buying cheaper price than you, and they get to buy it 3 years later. What an embarrassment, honestly, to think about. They're like, oh, well, look at where's my delayed gratification for? That's how everyone's feeling. I know everyone's feeling, but that's pretty much it. That's why, friends, if you get destroyed on this ETH ratio, that's why XRP is a grift. Okay, just to show you, XRP is a grift. Why? Because it can't catch up with Bitcoin and Ethereum. But, you know, they're Ethereum haters, so it's pretty much just looking at Bitcoin. And you can see the chart right here. They're just dumping the inflation and XRP from August 2017. You're down 70%, man. You're literally down 70% against, but you're down. Wow, man, this is disgusting. You're down like 80%. So if you put one Bitcoin into XRP back then in August 2013, all right, you don't have 1 Bitcoin worth of value right now. You only have 0.2 Bitcoin worth of value. You've literally lost value. I was like, oh, well, it's up. It's up over time. Yeah, the USD price, it's a scam, friends. It's a scam. Bitcoin is the monetary base of all of crypto. If you're losing value against the monetary base, you're getting destroyed. Okay, it's literally like some.
As much as we hate to admit it, it's true. If you're losing against Bitcoin value and you would have just done better holding Bitcoin, then should have held Bitcoin type shit. Like I know we don't like to say it, but it's all about these swing plays, and yeah, I won't get into that too much, but you want to outperform Bitcoin, whether it's in the short term or the long term. Like Sami says here, and as we've seen, if you look at something like a BTC.D on TradingView, a Bitcoin dominance chart, we've gone from 40% Bitcoin dominance to 60% Bitcoin dominance. If you look at, or like 57%, and if you look at your favorite altcoin chart versus BTC, and it's gone down, then you would have done better just holding BTC, or similarly with ETH. So yeah, it's definitely PvP, game of attrition, game of ratios and valuations, if you will. But yeah, man, I love how he mentions the Pulse versus ETH ratio, which I think it's on LookIntoHex.com already. Hold on, let me double check. Adoption. Also, shout out. Oh my god, 2,000 live viewers. You guys are insane. Hold on, let me get a little screenshot real quick. Let me get a little screenshot. 1 second. Hold on. Wowza. I love you guys. Hold on 1 second. My bad. Trying to get a little screenshot of these 2,006 live viewers. You guys are crazy. I love X. Love Twitter. Thanks, Elon. All right, yeah, let's keep watching this, but hold on, let me share another screen. Oh, hold on, I'll share that in a sec. Upper tab, LookIntoHex, share. Yeah, you guys can see this, right? Yeah, sick. Cool. So if you go to the adoption tab and I scroll down a little bit, I hope this is accurate. Oh, we actually don't have it yet. My bad. It's on a dev version of the site right now, but it's showing the PLS versus ETH, PLS versus BTC, and all of those valuations that we care about of our favorite RH ecosystem altcoins versus high liquidity coins like BTC, ETH, and so on. But yeah, that's on a dev version of the site. So hold on, let me get that little. There you go. That's on a dev version of the site. So once that's live on production on the live site, I will share that with you guys here. Let me go back to the video.
Someone takes your US dollars and just gives you a shitty token, and the token goes down. You're like, wait a minute. You're meant to be a better system. I took on more risk outside the US dollar, the fiat currency, and I can't even have the same purchasing power. Like, oh, well, you got the token. You got the token. Okay, so you have to think smarter. You can't let these people just always try to one up you. But you know, most people are going to get one upped. And baby dolls, right now, as I'm recording, I've just seen this pop up. There's been some breaking news. Ethereum, 292,000 Ethereum was transferred from a wallet to Coinbase. So what does that mean? Well, because you have the Ethereum spot ETF, it could be they're moving money for the market makers and all these other things to make sure they're ready to buy. That's one possibility. Okay. Another possibility is we're all about to get destroyed, and someone is just using Ethereum's the spot ETF as liquidity to exit. Could be that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon.
Hold on, bro. Just said that 200,000 ETH transfer might be bullish. Might be to provide liquidity for the ETFs, or it might be dumped, and we're all about to get fucking destroyed. Yeah. Classic TA. Might go up, might go down. Gotta love it.
Also, shout out to Kaleo. Betting on Ethereum this cycle is starting to feel like betting on Litecoin last cycle. Don't say that too loud because my neighbor loves Litecoin, of course, friends. So basically, he's talking about third cycle curse. He can feel like something's wrong. It's just not moving like it used to. Go, yeah, man, it's third cycle curse. Third cycle curse, friends. Third cycle stuff, they literally only move after Bitcoin retail mania comes. They only do the big move by that. And that's by the ratios, you can tell that. All right. So ETH BTC ratio is still down from 2017. We'll see. We'll see what plays out. Now, friends, Bitcoin cycle stuff. Okay. The first Bitcoin cycle topped out 365 days after the Bitcoin halving. But the second and the third cycle topped out 550 days after the halving. Our cycle would be a blessing if it tops out April 2025 alongside altcoins, because that's 365 days. Now, obviously, blessing, yeah, you want it to go longer forever, but you know, you also want to go as parabolic as you can. So obviously, it's not up to us, but those are basically the dates you're looking at. And if you want to have a check here, it's basically all anywhere in 2025. Okay, so this is around. So if you want to go 365 days, it's exactly here, friends. See this arrow here, this arrow. That's one of the arrows, and then the other one is around this, you know, October date. This is where the Bitcoin halving date is. But you never know, man. It's somewhere in this zone. There's all these other dates. We've got no freaking idea. That's Bitcoin top out, cycle top out. But remember, like we've done our research, right? Knowing this isn't enough, because we know about the alt seasons and how much of a scam altcoins are compared to how easy it was 8 years ago. So we know from the others BTC ratio, which is just ticking down again here, we know from this that there's 2 alt season waves, and you are not guaranteed that your altcoin pumps in the second wave. I mean, 90% topped out in the first one. Okay, so we're just going to be watching that closely. Now, throwing some news your way, friends. There was there's some fake news out here. This is fake news. Just in, corrupt chairman Gary Gensler expected to resign by Feb 2025. So this was posted by some dude, Marcus. Look at this, Kobe. Marcus is the guy that said the Bitcoin ETF was going to be rejected for sure, like 3 days before it was approved. So I don't know. I think this guy's just making fake news and stuff.
Hold on. So Suyasi says, watching Gerardo, watching Sami, Inception. You know what you should do is you should stream. You should stream you watching me, watching Sami, and then I'll watch you, and then that's like Inception to the 4th power. Anyway, let's keep watching this
All the time, but you can tell it.
Or should we keep watching this? Yeah, no. It's like watching the 2 best minds in the space. Hey, appreciate it. Great idea, says Suyasi. Yeah, I know, right? Let's go deep. Let's go deep.
It's like this fan fiction dream for everybody to get Gary Gensler fired, which obviously we hope he does get fired, but we know, man, it's more to do with the liquidity cycle than anything. These are just news planted, but we need someone to hate. Just give me someone to hate. So we need something to look. I'll tell you right now, friends.
True.
If Gary Gensler, the Seaman Demon, was pro altcoins, and they will
hold on. What did bro say?
Need someone to hate. Just give me someone to hate. So we need something to look. I'll tell you.
Hold on.
Right now, friends. If Gary Gensler, the Seaman Demon, was
Gary Gensler, the Seaman Demon, where does bro get his ideas, man?
Pro altcoins, and they were all accepted. They were all great. I promise you, we would have the exact same prices. Okay, we would have the exact same prices because it's all got to do with the liquidity index. The only thing that changes the crypto price is that cycle, the cyclical nature from the money printer. Okay, that's pretty much what it's all come down to. Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else in between. But we don't want the population knowing that, do we? We want them to think it's the news. Here's the thing, friends. Even I spend every day telling you it's got nothing to do with the news, right? It's all these other greater fundamental forces at play. Even though I say that every day, when the news comes, everyone...
Here, let's catch a little break. No, this is really, 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 really good. And I agree with like 99% of the things he's saying. How like, you know, all of these are just news. I don't even want to say events, but yeah, news events. And at the end of the day, it's much deeper than that. And as some great minds will tell you, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. Like, sure, news is good and all, and like maybe less than 5% of the time, news actually relates to fundamental events that could affect price. But the majority of the time, these are just emotional type headlines to either get you to sell low or buy high. So no, I definitely appreciate and agree with what Sami's saying here. But I did want to say that I think Richard Hart just tweeted. So let's take a look real quick at what he's saying. He's been on kind of a spree lately. So I'm gonna check out some of Richard's tweets real quick. If you're down, let's look at it. Present. Extra camera. Nope. Let me stop screen. Present. Share screen. Richard Hart. Share. Boom. What's Richard up to? The Ethereum ETFs are launching tomorrow. Grayscale just moved $1 billion of ETH to Coinbase Prime for its mini ETH ETF. Okay, so that's, see, I'm glad I pulled this up because that's what Sami was just saying. 200,000 or something crazy amount, like $1 billion USD worth of ETH just moved. And what does that mean, right? And Richard is, saying he thinks he knows what that means by saying the Ethereum ETFs are launching tomorrow. Exchange ETF, by the way, stands for Exchange Traded Fund. And we can get into why Richard called them ETPs sometimes, Exchange Traded Products, because, an ETP can be anything from an Exchange Traded Fund, ETF, an Exchange Traded Commodity, ETC, an Exchange Traded Note, ETN, and so on. So ETP is the category, ETF is beneath that category. Anyways, I'm rambling, I'm yapping. Grayscale just moved $1 billion USD of ETH to Coinbase Prime for its mini ETH ETF. ETH was $5,000 a few years ago. It's $3,500 now, on the eve of its most important legacy finance event in history, with lower inflation and not wasting dollars on power. So let's dissect this a little bit. Was ETH $5,000 a few years ago all-time highs? Absolutely. $100 now? 100%. Is it the eve of its most important legacy finance event in history? Perhaps. That's arguably correct, yes. Because now institutions can get in without technically having to buy spot, although we hope it's spot by proxy because that's the way that the price actually goes up. And with lower inflation and not wasting dollars on power, meaning, again, Richard, he likes to condense a lot of alpha, a lot of information into just concise sentences like a true genius will. Lower inflation, what does that mean? And I think he goes into this in the next tweet where, Ethereum went from proof of work to proof of stake, which not wasting money on power. Now, proof of work, often called proof of waste, means you have to mine it with actual electrical power, with GPUs, and so on. Whereas now, instead of having to have GPUs to mine Ethereum, you mine it, you create new Ethereum simply by having Ethereum and by staking it. So instead of power users just having a ton of compute and being able to print new Ethereum and dump it for more compute, for more electrical energy, and just dumping the coin's price, you need to own Ethereum to mine more Ethereum, arguably creating this positive feedback loop where instead of dumping the price down to create more Ethereum, you have to pump the price up by buying more Ethereum to create more Ethereum, if that makes sense. So let's go back. And yeah, he gets into the ultrasound.money screenshot, but yeah, here we go. Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. Agreed. And all the ways the ETF marketing guys aren't telling you, but should be: lower inflation, higher throughput, lower fees, more features, better for the environment, stronger roadmap, more secure. Never had an inflation bug, of which BTC had too. So again, let's dissect this. He's saying the ETF marketing guys aren't telling you, but should be. I wonder why. Maybe they want to buy cheap ETH before it pumps, right? Got to look out for yourself and listen to people who are looking out for you, like Richard himself. Lower inflation. Let's look at the screenshot. It's true. In the last year, more ETH has been burned than that which has been issued. So even if this trend is not to continue, you could say that the past year or 2 years have been a huge win for Ethereum guys, where supply is increasing, sure, due to validators and people staking their ETH, but there's ETH being burned as well, simultaneously, offsetting that inflation, making the Ethereum supply more finite, more scarce, sometimes deflationary, temporarily, and again, therefore making it more scarce and thus more valuable. Higher throughput. Yep. An Ethereum block takes 12 seconds to produce, I believe, or 15 seconds, while a Bitcoin block takes much longer than that, a few minutes. Lower fees, 100%. If you go to gopulse.com, you can see that it's definitely cheaper. More features, yep, 100%. You can build on ETH, smart contracts, etc. Turing complete, better for the environment. It's true, because stake, you just have to own ETH instead of proof of work where you have to own compute and waste electricity. Stronger roadmap, it's true. The BTC roadmap fell to the wayside a while back, while the ETH roadmap is definitely more robust. Never had an inflation bug as well. Amazing. Good tweak, and like that. Ethereum ETF marketing, guys. I hope someone sends you this. ETH is better than BTC in every possible way. Don't restrict yourself to utility. No one searches for what coin will go up the most utility. It's a feature, not a benefit. Speak benefits. It's true. Ethereum is faster, cheaper, more secure, lets you de-risk to stable coins without exchange counterparty risk. It's true, because you have things like Uniswap, on-chain swaps, has on-chain exchange. That's what I just said. And all sorts of derivatives and options, leverage, insurance, time deposit, privacy, more decentralized, no special mining hardware, better for the environment, and more. Shout out Richard Hart. And then a Bitcoin used to get you 2,000 ETH. Now a Bitcoin only gets you 20 ETH. Ethereum inflates less. There we go. And because so many things use ETH, every new stupid thing has a chance of on-ramping millions more people to ETH, like NFTs did, for instance. I swear he has a love-hate relationship with NFTs. Hex, for instance, has 300,000 addresses on Ethereum, which hold Hex, for instance. People that ran Hex code gave many millions, decamillions to Ethereum miners, validators. Hex, one of many projects to bring many users to Ethereum. Decentralization is great. I mean, he's not wrong, man. He's just speaking truth. Let's get it. Absolutely. Here, let's look at my page for a second. I mentioned something a while back. Yeah, staking ETH. If you stake your ETH, it's about 3% APY right now. Thus, someone, and this is just me speculating, right? It's a little off topic, but if someone stakes 170,000 ETH, they'd earn about 16.4 million per year. If the ETH price goes up, the amount of yield would obviously go up too. APY fluctuates on these variables, but in general, ETH is awesome. Love ETH. Richard loves ETH. The Pulsechain Zach address loves ETH. So let's absolutely get it. Let's go, man. Oh, let me stop that screen and share back the Sami video.
People will be dancing naked, eating jelly beans, glitter on their face, doing handstands, perhaps next year sometime, saying, this is never...
Huh?
One using. How are we going to use it to advantage? I don't know. People will be dancing naked, eating jelly beans, glitter on...
People will be dancing naked, eating jelly beans.
On their face, doing handstands, perhaps
doing handstands, perhaps.
Next year sometime, saying, this is never stopping. And it stops. But look, man, like I told you, all right, a 20x was considered a phenomenal win 4 years ago. 20. Okay, you literally killed it. And then it dropped 70% in 14 days, by the way. So then you had to get out, which you wouldn't have gotten out at the 20x. It dropped 70% because of China's scam, the scam dumping, and it was all over. One of the worst bull market ever, pretty much by comparison. Hopefully this one's better. Now you got to think, right? If 20x was 4 years ago, 20x was the big winner, and now 8x is this one's winner. You got to think By the way, are you going to click sell at 8x? No, you're not. I know for a fact no one's clicking sell at 8x. No way anyone's clicking sell at 8x. No chance in hell from today. But you know, if that's the top of your coin, the next stop is 70% down in 60 to 90 days. So now you're back down only 2-3x from here. I know, friends, it's tough, man. It's tough, but that's it. That's crypto. That's the numbers, okay? That's 100,000 coins out here. It's getting tougher and tougher. That's why don't believe people when they talk about this decentralization bullshit dream. Like, yeah, bro, you got in early. Congratulations, okay? You got in early. The game's infinitely harder right now. You wouldn't be able to make your riches right now if it's just you got in on a calendar day earlier than everyone else. That's it. Important, friends. And hopefully we get some friendship on our side. Now, I have a chart here of the gold ETF because the Ethereum ETF is coming out. Look what happened with gold ETF. Gold ETF was approved and then it rallied 130% up to $1,000. Now, it actually went up higher than this, friends. Remember, gold went up to like $2,000 after this, but this was the 2008. This is 2008. This is the GFC. This is the global financial crisis, right? See how gold went down, liquidity crunch as well. So I was just showing you, but it had this big, started running up, never came back, all right? So gold ETF was approved. And then it pumped gold 130%. The Bitcoin ETF approval matching would give us roughly 80 to 100K zone before poop. So I just did 130% on that. And I'm like, okay, well, what would that be? It's interesting if it would work out, like the gold spirit.
80 to 100K. And where did Bitcoin go already? 73K? Like, bro's onto something.
Gold topped out because the US market experienced early GFC jitters. So, man, it'd be wild. And imagine we are like between 80 to 100K by the end of this year. And, you know, the US Fed is expected to do its first cut in September. And the yield curve's uninverting right now, by the way. I'll just have a quick check at it now. So this is it now, friends. Now, this is the 2s, 10s. So the yield curve, they're using like the 1 month. I think they're using like the early month and whatever. But this is like really, really, really close. Just to let you know, when they start cutting, that's the doom part, okay? So if you look at this, like the yield curve inversion, it means the economy is weaker. That's pretty much it. The insiders know something bad's coming. And then look, this is when they cut rates, the doom part. This is 1991 recession. This is 2001. This is GFC. This is the tech bubble burst. And this is September 11, all right? This is the GFC. This is zombie virus. You see these are all crises. Okay, this one was US debt defaulting. This was like the US debt default scare, I believe, around here. Oh, no, this is the European crisis. So something's coming, okay? And it uninverts. Why? Because they cut rates when they start cutting rates. They're expected to cut rates in September. We'll see. It would be crazy, right? Imagine Bitcoin goes to that 80 to 110K zone, and then we have that first crisis just to kind of mimic it. That'll be beautiful. Remember, after gold, this is interesting as well. When gold, after its event thing, sent it down again, all right, it went and broke the high by 2x. So what I'm thinking, like, it'd be crazy if that happens. Imagine Bitcoin goes to 110 or 120K by the end of this year, but then it crashes back down to 70 or 80 because there's economy jitters in the world, in USA. But then, like the gold ETF, it breaks that 120 by the 2x. I actually show it to you on the chart. Right here. So if it was to mimic gold, friends, if it was to mimic gold, gets to this 80, 110K zone, everyone thinks, yes, yes, yes. And then some dark prophecy stuff. No, we're crashing. And then we continue by the end of the year. But then breaking this by a 2x gives you like roughly the 200K zone to look like that. That's the zone. All right, actually, like it's almost like perfect. It goes up here, has this channel up here, and then it continues up. So that'd be wonderful if we get something like that. That'd be great.
That's a really good point Sami's bringing up, is the inverted yield curve. It's kind of a more advanced chart to look at, but again, I'll give my shout out to Ben Cowan into the Cryptoverse. I paid for his monthly thing, looking at those exclusive charts, and yeah, it pretty much shows that the yield curve inverts every time before a recession. And right now, the yield curve is inverted, therefore leading many to believe a recession could be incoming, similar to the events Sami just pointed out, such as the 2000 tech bubble, the 2008 financial crisis, and so on, which the definition of an inverted yield curve is pretty much longer does not pay better with treasury yields, which is risk-free yield, which it's just weird, right? Like, and again, you can go into other channels that go deeper into this and are more experts on this, but there's a reason something like a hex was coded such that longer always pays better, whereas something like treasury yields, they fluctuate and longer does not always pay better. And when that's the case, where shorter pays better, that generally means that the economy is sick and a historically speaking, a recession has ensued shortly after. And when I say shortly, I mean like maybe like a year, 2 years, or so on. In the grand scheme of things, those are shortly after. So yeah, no, he has some good points. Again, it's tempting to say this time is different, but oftentimes it's not the case. So it's good to definitely see the bullish side of things, but also see the bearish side of things. But as Sami is saying here, there's nuance because, a recession incoming, you don't really know when. Could it be a year from now? Well, what happens? Like, you might be super bearish and saying, oh no, a recession is incoming, a financial crisis is incoming, but it could be in a year. And what happens between now and that year is like, you could see new all-time highs and so on. So it's definitely a tricky game to play when you're looking at all of these macroeconomic indicators and how they relate to something like your crypto bags. You don't want to make a mistake and be bearish, and then be bearish for a year, and then sure, your bear event happens a year later, but in the meantime, everyone made gains and you just sit on the sidelines. So I personally, I like to be exposed to crypto at all times, even if in a bearish environment, and it's served me well during certain times, and it's definitely hurt during certain times. But in general, I think crypto's here to stay. I think it's here to win. I think it's the people's money. It's a better money. It has so many better features, uptime, etc. So I'm a crypto fan, if you cannot tell by now. What does Ernie say? Ernie Savage in the chat. Sami needs to keep misguided American partisan political tropes. Have his commentary. I mean, I disagree. I think it all plays together, and I think you should be able to just talk about what you want to talk about. And if Sami wants to talk about, political events and whatnot, I think he's free to do so. So, does it alienate potential crypto onboards? I don't think so. I think it almost makes crypto relevant and highlights how it's correlated to the macroeconomic condition, right? And if anything, it's like, yo, everything is connected, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with things being connected to each other. So, yeah.
This is going to be disastrous, Polly. Be careful of this part because everyone's going to think it's over.
Yo,
Everyone's going to
Ryan?
think it's over, friends. Think of like how many times I told you, like 100K Bitcoin. It's always felt like to me the biggest round number retailer trap. It goes up 110, 120, crashes back down to 80. They all sell. They go, oh, well, we've rejected off 100K. Bitcoin 100K. I can't believe he didn't sell. It's all over. But they just truly don't understand what's going on, the money printer and everything else. Also, shout out to my friend Danny Long, not to be confused with Danny Short. So Danny Long, I've got a feeling we're going to be scammed by the Ethereum ETF this cycle. Me too, brother. It's a third cycle curse, man. Now, friends, you want some update into some deep state stuff? Okay, this is going to be interesting. The Secret Service.
Oh, sorry, Ernie. He's about to get into some deep state.
This lady's being drilled. Secret Soy Service. She can't answer any question. Okay, she's literally getting drilled.
You keep referring to the FBI. When asked how many shell casings were on the roof, you referred to the FBI. When asked if there were explosives in the car, you referred to the FBI. When asked if Crooks was acting alone, you referred to the FBI. See a common theme here? I can go on and on. My question is, who at the FBI should I speak with? Wait for it. Wait for it.
The FBI is responsible for the criminal
Is there a name?
This is crazy. Friends, in this interview, in this like grilling, okay, she literally asks her, how many gun shell casings were there on the Donald Trump shooter's roof? How many gun shell casings, right? Such a simple question, man. You went there, you hosed down all the evidence. We saw that, friends. Literally the FBI, the fancy bananas investigators, okay, were hosing down everything on the roof. Of course, okay, why are you hosing down the evidence? All right, because you counted how many gun shells there were, right? All right, sweet. How many gun shells were there? How dodgy is that? You can't even answer how many gun shells there were. That's disgusting. Like, you can count the number of bullets in the video, whatever it was, 3, 4, 5, whatever it was. There should be that many number of bullet casings on the roof. Unless there was another shooter. All right. So why can't he answer? That's such a simple.
Tinfoil Sami incoming. Ernie says, when I tell people how great he is at analysis and send them to his channel, then goes off into craziness. They discount all the good stuff as well. It's maddening. See, that's the thing. Not everyone's going to make it. Not everyone is going to be able to take the analysis with a grain of salt. And there's a reason you say he's great at analysis. Maybe because he looks at the broader environment, right? I mean, there's a reason he has insight that is more insightful relative to the average crypto user or the average person. Perhaps it's because he dabbles in macroeconomic conditions, political events, and so on. So I would just argue he's more of what's the word? When you know about a lot of things, right? Like he's well informed in a diversification of important topics, right? It's the comment in the chat. I'm gonna pin it right here, right? I would argue it's because Sami is he's just a peanut brain. He admits it, right? Like, don't take any of his advice completely seriously. Take everything with a grain of salt. But, people who dabble in multiple topics oftentimes can have greater insight into a singular topic, aka, I'll toot my own horn and give myself as an example. I went to school for physics, did a little bit of programming. I'm really fucking good at spreadsheets, and I like to look at macroeconomics. And then at that point, you kind of have different angles via which you view the world, and therefore have unique opinions that might be more insightful, more valuable, more comprehensive than just someone who's just like focusing on purely crypto, if that makes sense. Because when you're focusing on purely something, sure, you can go deep, but at the same time, you're within an echo chamber or bubble, so you might miss certain things. So I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong or or anything like that, but I wouldn't discount someone just because they dabble in topics that one might be uncomfortable with or might not think relate or so on. So yeah, that's my take.
Simple question. Why can't you answer? You go, I don't know. Why can't you just say, look, I've only seen one report. We found 2 so far. They didn't even say that. Why are they doing that, friends? What they're doing is they're working out all the kinks. They're working out, hey, we've got to get this story, find the holes in this story before they release all of it out. So obvious. She even says McLean even says to her, Cheetle, she goes, what are you covering up? What are you hiding, my friend? And I've got more for you, friends, as well. This lady gets grilled even harder.
Today, Mr.
Drink your water. Drink your water.
Cheetle.
I will do the best to provide you accurate information based on the facts that I have at this time.
Liar.
You're not answering our questions. The advanced element coordinates with other intel or law enforcement partners, identifies threats and weaknesses at the sites and movements. We'd like a copy of the advanced report. Have you brought it here with you today?
We will comply with the request for the documentation that has been requested.
When will that be, Ms. Cheetle? Because you should have brought it today.
I am certain that our personnel are working on.
Like, man.
Like, bro, is she a bot? Come on now.
Man, it's like, how many times do you cucks, you sheep, need to see people who are so smart to network and understand these positions of power and understand, friends, they can count the pubes on your genitals. That's how much spying and stalking they've done, okay? They are so aware and basically capable to do all of that. But then when it comes to mysteriously, seemingly planned conspiracy stuff, it's always incompetence. Oh, man, sorry. You know what I mean? I just totally didn't know how to do my job. You mean the only job you were given? Yeah, sorry, that was the only job I was given. Okay, well, that was the only job I was given. I'm just sorry. How, man? How? They're not going to answer. They'll never answer. They never answer. By the way, it's just the best example. Like, you're a farmer, your sheep have been...
Here, I'm going to share this. It's in the chat here. This is the video I'm watching.
Being killed. All right, and there's a blood trail leading out to the forest. You go to the forest, you find Fox, you go and interview the Fox. You go, hey, Mr. Fox, I would like you to investigate who killed the sheep. Mr. Fox, of course, says to you, I'll find you the answer. To be determined. Could be anyone. Could have been the donkey. Could have been the flying goose. Oh, man, what can you do there? What can you do? Well, friends, even though you see all these, right? This is the sad part as well, by the way. In this interview, in this grilling, they asked her, they go, okay, how did the gunman know where to go up and shoot? How'd they know that? They go, okay, it was a drone. All right, sweet. They asked her, what time did he fly the drone? She goes, can't tell you. What do you mean can't tell us? Okay, so you know he flew a drone. Give us the minutes and the time. Exactly from what time to what time did he scout the area? Can't tell you. Yeah, literally says this whole thing, friends. She can't tell you.
At 6:11 p.m.
See?
5:28, AGR Sniper 1 takes a picture of a bicycle and 2 bags. Those belong to crooks.
So she also goes on to mention that everybody gets filtered. Everyone gets scanned for every single item at these rallies. All right. Yeah, for some reason, this kid walks in with a rifle, a ladder, and a rangefinder. All right. Yeah, it's just totally random. Oh, golly gee, did we roll a 6 19,000 times in a row? Golly gee, what's your luck? What are the chances of that happening? So, friends, even though we're looking at all these, we know, man, we know. So if you're on the sidelines, people hear this like, what can we do? What can we do? You get long crypto. You get long crypto. That's literally, friends, the only way to speculate on this stuff is to be long on crypto. Now, you can be long on the stock market index, but that's pretty crappy. You're getting 8% per year. So after about 10 years, you'll get a 2x. All right. Not financial advice. Go buy the government bonds like they want you to. Blah, blah, blah. Go speak to a financial advisor. It's probably poorer than all of us combined. Okay, sweet. So when it comes to this, that's the only way to play it. Because people always ask me as well, how does longing crypto have anything to do with a planned assassination and all these other things going on? Okay. The answer is because to do these things means undeniably, there is a deep state. There are tentacles. There are many of the families I'm not going to speak about. They have power, influence, and shadows. Okay. They don't put their face on camera. They're not stupid because they know that people come and riot against them. They just change their face and everything's fine. Okay. That works in the background. Now, who's paying for them? The money printer. Okay. Who's paying the workers? The money printer. Who is paying for the research? The money printer. Who's paying the journalists? The money printer. Who is paying for the media companies to make up the stories? The money printer. Why do they all comply? Because of their salaries. Where their salaries come from? Once again, all paths lead back to the money printer from the US Fed. Okay. The money printer. That's a US dollar. They have the dominance. That's what it comes down to. Okay. So why are we in Ukraine? All the wars. Why do money goes in and why is the Middle Eastern war? Why is it the tornado cash of the US dollar? How they can literally move hundreds of billions of dollars willy-nilly and they don't have to get accounted for when they have to do stuff. Okay, why is that? Why is stuff flying around the sky where, sometimes people say, okay, some of them might be new non-human intelligence. Some of them might just literally be advanced weapon tech from the USA. We just don't want China and Russia. Okay, how are they funding all of that, friends? The money printer. All of it comes back to the money printer. You got to think, do you think they are going to stop all those programs? I think there is a negative 4,500% chance that they'll stop their programs. Absolutely not. Been gone for 80 years. And so much easier just to brainwash and bribe more people to tell them everything's sweet and to also pay for a distraction to come out. Like, I don't know, maybe a planned cyber attack that we recently saw. Let's just throw this stuff out just to get people distracted. Okay. So all paths lead back to the money printer, friends. All of them. Every single one of them. Being long on crypto is you're long on the smallest liquidity bucket. Okay, so when water overflows from bonds, stocks, cash, and everything else, and it finally rolls over, which is like into Mr. Russell pops up, then we finally have the crypto liquidity bucket falling, and we basically go parabolic. Okay, Metcalfe's law and everything just thrashing its way through. That's what it comes down to. Okay, now that's how you participate. You're long on crypto. Now you obviously have to decide which crypto, which coins. Are you going to be satisfied just a 2x in Bitcoin? Okay, it's up to you. Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. We do all that work, research, look for information symmetry, active communities, going on chain, all these other wonderful stuff of crypto. So that's pretty much it. It's great. You can actually speculate on this stuff now. Before crypto, you couldn't speculate on this stuff. The only way to really speculate on this stuff was basically to buy the government-approved contractors' stocks, like Lockheed Martin and Boeing and all these other stuff. That's the only way to do it. And that decent returns, but not like life-changing returns because they own all the shares, you know what I mean? So it's a cheated system whatsoever, okay? And the market cap's already huge, relatively speaking, okay? And I just want to show you that. I'm going to show you this clip as well, friends. So last thing we're going through, obviously there's political pendulum shifting, okay? So it's shifting from the left, which had it for a while. Now it's going to go towards the Republican side. You have the Bitcoin, Donald Trump convention thing coming up, Bitcoin strategic reserve, all these things coming. But also one of the big parts is Elon Musk. He's one of the world's most popular men. The fact that we even speak about most of the stuff I report, friends, it's because of Twitter. And I'll be completely honest, man. The stuff we are talking about on Twitter and the views they're getting, friends, I'm just telling you now, you keep rolling this forward for 2 years, Elon's a target, Twitter's a target. I'm just we are literally, you got to look what's going on. They're printing money to do all this brainwashing, and then we're undoing the brainwashing. Now, the first few years is going to be fine because Twitter's small. The creators don't make that much, and no one really wants to all be there. Like YouTube still has a big competitive advantage. Okay, what if Elon starts expanding like a businessman and he starts adding features, and everyone's like, wow, geez, this.
Yeah.
It's like real news. So just a light's going to go off. They're going to do something. Don't know what it is. Blackmail, taking Twitter down, lawsuits, all this stuff. They'll throw something out here, okay? But I want you to have a listen to this as well. So Elon Musk, right, is becoming very anti-woke. He actually says in this interview, he says, my son was tricked into being given puberty blockers. So his son, Xavier. I don't know if it's son or daughter. I don't know what the puberty blockers were for. Okay? So don't come at me. Blue, red, pink hair, army. I don't know what these are. Just whatever. Just don't come at me. Just tell you. I don't know how to read. Those are just words, okay? If these words upset you, go cry in the corner. So this is translating to just more higher odds that Donald Trump wins, which is pro-crypto, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so listen to this.
It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This is before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he.
That was a lie, right the outset. No reliable clinician ever believed that. There was never any evidence for that. And also, if there's a higher suicide rate, the reason is because of the underlying depression and anxiety and not because of the gender dysphoria. And every goddamn clinician knows that too. And they're too cowardly to come out and say it. Right. And so that, and then we end up in exact.
Damn.
Just to remind you as well, friends, remember Andrew Tate saying, he basically alluded, Jordan Peterson's one of the people, his tone has changed recently with things, which means they probably sat him down and they threatened him too. Basically like, hey, you know, if you don't play ball, something's going to happen to you. We'll take you out. Just as fast as you came in, we'll take you out. We'll cut all your funding. You'll be nobody again. And he's had all these public breakdowns. So let's continue.
When I saw that lie start to propagate, it just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. It's like, I see. So you're telling parents that unless they agree to this radical transformation that their children are going to die, and you think that's moral, and you think that's true. That is so pathological that it's almost incomprehensible. I can't imagine anything worse. I can't imagine a therapist doing anything worse than that, or sitting by idly and remaining silent while his colleagues are doing it. It's pathetic.
It's incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison.
It won't stop till that happens.
Yeah,
it'll just go underground. Puberty blockers are being accessed online by kids all the time through
So they go through this in this interview. It's a very, very new interview, friends, from just hours ago. If you watch my UFO videos once again, like, yes, this is what's going on now, friends. Just let you know. This is.
Yeah. I watched that interview, by the way. I'm not a huge Peterson fan, but I'm definitely an Elon Musk fan. And yeah, definitely, I watched the first like 70% of that interview while I was working out. And no, it's good. Elon talks about his large language model, about Grok 2.0, possibly next month, Grok 3.0, possibly by the end of the year, if not early next year, and a few personal things like his existential crisis when he was younger, and definitely some family personal issues like his son Xavier and what he went through with that. So no, I definitely would recommend. And they did that live on X as well. So shout out X, the best platform on the planet for free speech.
Is a foreshadowing of what society is going to be like in 50 years. All right, it will be like that. And we are fighting the trend. Government, they got the money printer, they got the brainwashing, they got the guns, they got everything, and people, they have too much power, right? Whether it's alien controlled or deep state controlled, all those families controlled for ultimate power, it doesn't matter. The trend is obvious. The trend is this. The trend is you will, as a parent, will have not total control over what your kid can learn or label and stuff. You won't. They will find a way to introduce one thing into like a policy where they're like, if you as a parent, if you like try to get your kid to like unlearn this, you're going to jail. This is evil. And they tried it with the gender stuff, the transgender stuff. They tried it with that. And that's why California, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sneak it in. And that's how it starts. That's literally the gateway. That's the gateway to hell. That's pretty much, that's the road that leads straight to hell. Just a slippery slope right there. Once they can at least go, hey, there is a thing that parents can't impose on their children. Then after that stabilizes, they introduce one thing later on, but they got to get everybody, they got to throw that in there first. They're trying to do it in the background, trying to do it out here. So obviously Elon's anti that. It is sad to think about this 50 to 100 years of how it's going to be. But ultimately, if you don't know why it's all evil, yeah, it is. You could say it is evil. It's removing humanity. That's the definition pretty much of evil. But yeah, what's the government's reasoning going to be? Well, you know, we got to teach kids how to be like friends. They're teaching everyone to be a robot pretty much. Where it's like, hey, accept the message, swallow all the brainwashing. Don't question the narrative. We want perfect soldiers. We want perfect citizens. Don't question stuff, follow orders, and the power always goes up there. And that's pretty much it. And you know what? Maybe resistance is futile. Maybe in 1,000 years, well, it turns out, you know, if this is what needs to be happening. But right now, they're not bribing us enough. No. Sweet. So friends, yeah, even if I go, you know what? Maybe in there, maybe resistance is futile. But right now, you're a cuck if you follow. You're a cuck. Where's the bribes? Okay, where's the bribes? Pump my crypto bags up first. Let me and my baby dolls who like and subscribe, let us retire first. Okay? Let us smash it first. Then you can start to introduce this stuff. Because here's the thing, friends. Like, obviously, they should never be able to introduce this stuff. But you know how easy it is, man. You know, 95% of the population has to keep working. So they're dead. So they drop dead. So they're obviously just going to be brainwashed. You're like, come on. They got brainwashed for like, hey, take another 15 jabs. This one might work. Nothing is out of bounds for these people. Okay, not even people. Okay, so they're literally the reptilian, bug eater, bug overlord, bug worshipper scam. So we're seeing all these things, friends. They're all running concurrently. Ultimately, the crypto cycle, though, where does that fit in? Nice and neat. It does fit in nice and neat. Let's see where we go. Remember, you look at all these dates. Where's the cycle going to top out? Somewhere in 2025. That's what it comes down to. We're going to be waiting for those exotic pop signals. Hopefully they hit. Like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.
Damn. All right, bro went off. All right, bro went off. Okay. All right. I hear you, Sami. No, I love how he's talking about more than crypto, man. Like there are a lot of things that matter nowadays, and crypto is definitely one of them, and it relates to all these things. But speaking about the fundamental problems and issues and and talking points of the world at the moment, especially in the West. I appreciate you, Sami, bro. But yeah, guys. All right. So, oh, that was a video. Should we watch more? More Sami? Bro, how does bro make like 5 or 6 videos a day? All right. He's outworking all of us. You think he's making sense here? Says Ernie. I mean, in general, yeah. He's like, you need to be able to see beneath the sarcasms, beneath the truths, beneath the correlations. But I would definitely recommend people watch Sami. Orion says yes. All right, man. Let's watch more Sami. Hold up. What do we care about the most? Care about ETH, right? Ethereum to 14K. I mean, he's already talked about that. All matters is who you're long. Let's watch a short one. That was honestly kind of exhausting. Like, shout out Sami. Long videos packed with alpha and good points and good relevant info. But let's hit these short videos real quick. Let's knock these out.
It doesn't even matter what your product does.
All right.
All that matters is who you are long with. That's it. Look to your left and look to your right and look at your nuts. Make sure they're still there. And if you're a lady, look at your lady garden. Make sure it's still there too. Okay? If you have some...
Hold on, bro. Some things are worth replaying. Hold on.
It doesn't even matter what your product does.
Immediately, first sentence. Who gives a fuck what your product does? Hold on.
All that matters is who you are long with. That's it. Look to your left and look to your right and look at your nuts. Make sure they're still there. And if you're a lady, look at your lady garden. Make sure it's still there too. Okay? If you have something else, take a picture, send it to us. Look, you always have to think, who is long with me? You'll have believers or they'll have non-believers. You don't want to be long when the haters are in, man. I'll throw it out here to you right now. I don't want to be long the Tang Gang universe when the haters of Tang Gang are really exposed long. I don't want to be long. No, I don't want to be long. I love everyone in Tang Gang. I'm just telling you now, man. I don't trust them. Because friends, you get to see what happens in the prices. These people see minus 50%. They crack it down to minus 60%. Then they reflexively trigger even more weekends to crack it minus 70%, minus 80, minus 90. But also, you don't have to worry about it because if you got all the haters in, it means you went so parabolic up, you won the game. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it comes down to. So that's something to think about, friends. That's why I always thought in my mind, well, if Pulsechain gets listed on Binance and Coinbase, maybe not Coinbase, maybe like Binance, we always knew like CZ just doesn't like Richard Hart. We just
I see what he's saying. So once even your original haters are into a thing, that's a decent top signal, right? Because at that point it's like you've won so hard, you've gone parabolic so hard, you just won to the point where even the haters are like, oh shit, I want to win with them. But at that point it's almost like, well, how many people are left to buy after even your haters are buying? Then it's like that's almost the last tranche, if you will, of people. Ernie says, to the new watcher, it's another story. Orion says Sami's a serious force on YouTube. Glad it's on our team. Dude, fact. I know. I love Sami. Yo, the intro to that video had me weak. You see now there's 100% on. Yeah.
We always knew that. He doesn't like his personality because CZ's humble. Richard Hart wasn't. CZ doesn't just like yield handouts. He even made a post, I don't just like handing out yield and stuff. So, he's taking jabs at like Richard Hart and stuff here and there. But if it ever got listed there, the haters are in with us, friends. And guess what, man? You want the haters to be in. The problem is you can't rely on them. You want them to get in to cause FOMO to the other haters, but you don't want them to own your bags when the inevitable Bitcoin rollover happens. The stock market rolls over. There's a recession. There's some FUD. The pre-programmed market price adjustments, the sentiment changes. You don't want to be long with them, friends. It's just like if you go to war, you want to have disciplined, strong, loyal soldiers who will just follow instructions. You don't want that like psychopath. He can't even cut his hair straight. You know, he's got like no sideburns and who's like, you know, he's pretty much Tourette's yelling at stuff. You know what I mean? And he's like saying, ah, and he can't even use a gun properly. You don't want that guy. You don't want that guy. Well, when you're long, something goes that parabolic up, you're long with them. That's what happened in Pulsechain and Pulsechain sacrifice. So you learned this lesson today. And by the way, to everybody, I know everyone else out there laughing. I've seen what you guys are all doing. You're about to get fucked this cycle because you've all given your money and your time to the VCs.
All right. Man. Yeah, let's knock out another short one real quick.
Baby dolls, I have been watching some other mainstream YouTubers. They're watching my channel. They are.
Hold on. Is he talking to? No, I'm not that mainstream, but he just said they're watching me. We're out here watching him with like 2,500 viewers. What does he mean? I hope it's good news.
100% watching my channel. They're talking.
He's probably talking about like Crypto Ran and Bitboy and those guys.
Talking about certain topics and words and ratios of things. I'm like, bro, I've been watching you and all you people. I've been watching all of you since day one. You have no idea what the fudge I'm on about. You have no idea. Interesting. They're also bringing on some of these shows, bringing on guests. And they don't know. I've been watching the guests for like, you know, many, many years as well. They don't know what the hell I'm talking about either. Now they do. Interesting, though. They still don't get it, though. They still don't get how to use all this stuff. They're starting to, but just showing you that market's starting to get more mature a bit here and there. Now, here's the thing. You can't mid-curve it. You can't mid-curve it. So just because you know ratios and how things are going on and like, oh, there's crypto businesses and they have cash flow, but no one wants to buy their tokens and governance tokens are useless and all these other things. Yeah, you understand all these. You still got to tap into the average person coming in, which, you know, we spend a lot of time here doing our analysis and our friendship and all this journey to get there. But don't you forget, friends, all right? It's a tug of war. And look, they own all the coins. A lot of these VC insiders, yeah, they own all the coins of their little cliques and little chains and whatever. But if retail doesn't buy them and they go buy the meme coins, altcoins that are flying, these people have to capitulate. So that tug of war back and forth, someone's going to win. Obviously, I hope everybody wins. But like, did you feel like, you know, your layer 2 coin won when its average return is only 70% this year, whereas meme coins went up 1,300%? Think about that. You only got a 2x for about a layer 2 and a layer 1 coin on average, a 2x, and memes went 14. You know, everybody wins. Not really. So it's just going to be interesting, right? It's going to be interesting how it plays out and where it all lands. You know, because it's a tug of war, man. There's too many buckets. Not all the buckets can fill up. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. So that was good. That was all right. No, I like the all that matters who you're along with. That was good. The rest of these are like 27 minutes, 22 minutes, 23, 35. What should we watch next? Let's take a vote. Come on, y'all. There's like 2,600 people here. Like, let's take a vote. Someone drop something. Like, I'll listen to the first mofo who just says, let's watch this. Or I'll just click on something. And if I'm impatient in the next like 32 seconds. So we have money printer will send Bitcoin over 100K, parentheses, deep state, where he lost $8 million from this one mistake. Crypto to run up between $7 to $10 trillion. Ethereum to 14K. Juicy news. BTC 68K. Joe Biden drops out. Donald Trump. Blah, blah, blah. Elon Musk. BlackRock. Altcoins. Does Sami even sleep? No, I don't think so. Or he does, and then he just wakes up and, you know, from dusk to dawn, from dawn to dusk, bro just knocks out videos. But if we're being real, he probably just does stream of consciousness. Like, let's add up the last day of videos, right? The last day of videos. You know, an hour, another hour here, another hour here. So in reality, like 3 to 4 hours a day, like that's not even full time. That's part time. So if you just wake up, stream of consciousness, stream, clip your videos, upload, like you could honestly knock this out. He's locked in, you know? Like he reminds me of me back in 2021 when I was locked in and I was doing daily videos. I definitely wasn't going this hard. I was sure doing like 5 to 30-minute videos a day with the occasional live stream. But imagine if I had clipped those live streams and, you know, gotten multiple 10-minute, 30-minute long clips from those streams, then yeah, I could have been on that similar wave. But yeah, no, Sami reminds me of myself from 2021. He's just locked in. He's just dropping that content, as he says, 18 hours a day, and he edits them too, says Orion. That's crazy. No. But again, the edits aren't crazy. It's not like you have transitions and this and that, and even the thumbnails. Like some of these thumbnails are just not even custom. They're just clipped from the video itself. Versus, you know, of the last 8, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 custom thumbnails. But again, even look at that, just like a normal Bitcoin and Ethereum logo, same one. His face clipped from the stream. Easier to do in Photoshop. Some exclamation marks and like a basic color in the background. So no, he definitely knows how to pump out content fast, if you will. Who says, Ernie says, try the one where the guy lost 8 mil. It's a great lesson about swapping into lottery coins after hitting big. Yeah, let's get it. Why not?
What's up, baby dolls? I'm going to show you a couple of
Here, let me play back speed normal.
things. So this is Donald Trump. He's been tweeting about Joey Biden. It's not
Ernie,
over.
He's getting political immediately.
Tomorrow, crooked Joe Biden's going to wake up and forget that he dropped out of the race today. That's actually funny. We're seeing a lot of trolling, friends, a lot of fighting. The political sphere, it is bleeding into crypto. A lot of people, not only are they fighting just because it's red candle mode, the political opponents, it's really just showing monkey see, monkey do type of stuff in this simulation while they're watching. We're like, okay, now everybody is like learning by osmosis, which is just learning like a sponge. It's bleeding out, and everybody's doing this trolling, fighting stuff. Now, I'm not talking about violence fighting. I'm talking about like hardcore debating, back and forth. Now, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is people are passionate, polarizing. That's another word that diplomatics use, polarizing. Also, you really, really believe like you're going to stand up for what it is, because everybody believes they're standing up for something, right? No one wants to be a wimp. So that might be useful.
Hold on, bro's yapping. Talks about Germany. They dumped like 50,000 BTC. Kamala dancing. Politicians. Donald Trump. Mindshare. Biden tweet. Simulation continues. Pop count on Bowden. Down 99. Okay, let's go like around here. I'm assuming you guys to the meat of the video.
The simulation and deep state warping is so wacky that we can barely comprehend it. First, Joe Biden says he's staying in the race and he's running. So that's the first thing he says. I'm staying in the race and I'm running. I don't care about the debate. 6 days later, the deep state execute the planned assassination on Donald Trump. Pew! Okay, dodge the bullet. Okay, divine intervention comes in. We'll play some nice gentle angel music and just make it. Let's ease into this angel music, friends, just so we can appreciate it. Literally, within literally less than an inch. Okay. Divine intervention. Trump survives. Next thing, right? Plans have to change. They're like, crap, Donald Trump's still alive. All right. A couple of days later, Joe Biden hints he's not going to drop out unless I have a medical condition. Wink, 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 wink. Okay. A day later, by the way, I have the zombie virus. Then we're looking at it now. Okay, he's dropped out. He pretty much dropped out. Also, this is funny, right? The Joe Biden and Chud face. I just saw this in one of the comments, so this was hilarious as well. So a lot of these things, friends, they are programmed. Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, this political stuff, it's bleeding in so hard. I think really this whole world, everyone's going to have an opinion on this whole world. And of course, it's US election, man. Like, look at the US dominance and all the money and everything floating around. But we're here for crypto and we want pro-crypto stuff. So we're always going to keep our wits about us. This is PopCat. Now, PopCat is they say the first cat. Shout out to Mr. J Plush. J Plush 369. Not to be confused with Mr. J Plush 368. Okay, so it's a 369, Mr. J Plush. Mr. J said that this is the first cat coin to hit 1 billion market cap. Interesting. Now, PopCat, it's on Solana, right? Obviously, I don't own it. It's expensive, but I'm just reminding you, man, I'm going to show you like this other devastating story because it's related to this. See, PopCat hits 1 billion, friends, and there's a lot of risks. Man, this, friends, I'm telling you, this is hurting me to even say this. Okay, so a guy lost $8 million buying the top of Joe Biden coin.
No,
all right,
bro.
So we actually have the wallet and everything. Look at this. So, reminder, rich people can also be incredibly stupid. Now, I don't want to use this word stupid. Don't use that, man. It's like okay, you rolled the dice, it landed 6, but you bet on 2. Is it stupid? No. Just say I don't use the word stupid. But I know, friends, I'm not being hard or anything. It's just, look, just because someone has a lot of money, it does not mean they have the skills to play the game.
Valid.
Now, in a quick summary, what are the skills in playing the game?
Yeah.
90% call, 10% lottery is a skill. Okay, you've already separated risk of stuff. That's one thing. Another thing, right? So do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Another thing. So you went all in on one coin in one political finance stuff. That's another thing. Okay, so they went and bought all of Joe Biden coin. They put $8 million with this. Okay, this trader TWAP, so time weighted average.
Brother. That hurts.
Priced out of $8 million worth of Jupiter for Bowden at the Pico top of Bowden. He then sold only $12,000 worth, but he bag held the rest to now, where he's down to near 98% down. His $8 million is only worth $85,000 at current prices. So he actually is down 99%. Oh, man, that hurts, man. That's hex level stuff. Okay, so I guess it's tough. Now you're probably wondering, how can you avoid this? How can you do this? Well, the truth is you can't avoid the loss. All you can do is control your risk, which is your bullet size entering. Everything else that happens in between, that's it's just up to like God, fate, unicorns, fairy dust, whatever it is. It's basically you throw on the dice, right? So once you commit to a big amount, it's very hard to undo that. Very tough. Almost impossible. That's how you blow yourself out, friends. That's why it's important to understand the concept of lottery tickets. Yeah, man. Okay, maybe you really believed in Joe Biden, but I'm telling you now, what I'm telling you, I know it's easy to say. It's not easy to do, man. I know it's not easy to do. You have to buy competitors. You have to hedge against yourself. That's what. Do you want to be right? Do you want to make money? Okay. He wanted to be right so bad about Joe Biden coin being the winner that he ultimately gets crushed, right? So if he wasn't concerned about being right, if he wanted to just just make money, there would have been more diversification. Okay, I don't use that word in crypto because nothing's really diversified. Okay, there would have been more just like different participation methods, such as, okay, you want to participate. So he probably doesn't even know, okay, why are you buying this coin? So this is him, right? This is him selling Jupiter at 8 million, and then he goes and buys Joe Biden coin, and he's buying this thing, man, at 80 cents. It's down to 1 cent. Down 99 cents. So what can you actually do, man? Look, once you've committed to 8 million, it's game over, pretty much. But what you could have done is you have to ask yourself, okay, why are you in Joe Biden? Okay, you believe in. Okay, what do you believe in? Do you believe in politics or do you believe in Joe Biden? Okay, because I think anybody does their research, you're a bit silly to ignore Donald Trump. If you like politics and you're buying crypto coin, I mean, like Donald Trump, he's the king of starting. He basically turns memes upside down. He's going to have and stuff. He's pro crypto. So to ignore Donald Trump is a fatal mistake. So what you could have done is said, well, okay, I like Joe Biden coin, but I want to participate in the Trump stuff as well. So he could have friends. He could have bought at the same time the biggest other PolitiFi coin. He could have bought the Trump coin itself. And you can actually go and type in PolitiFi coin, go, which is what I've done right now. And you can see the biggest coin here is Trump coin. Okay, so this wasn't the biggest. Now, Trump coin is down, friends. You check this out. Trump coin is down. Look at this. So if he bought it around Joe Biden coin, you actually come back and check it. He was buying Joe Biden coin around April to March, April, May. Where is it? His March, April, May. Well, interesting. You break even. Okay, so I'm about to show you this right now. Now, you're back to break even. Important. Because imagine he put 4 million into Biden, 4 million into MAGA. Okay, just as simple. He doesn't like, okay, I'm betting on both of them. All right, your Joe Biden's gone to zero, but you still have 4 million in MAGA. All right, and now you would be stressed that the Joe Biden went to zero. But if it went back up to here, man, you got actually all your money back. So if it goes back to $15 from
Yeah. So Sami's pretty much saying, like, don't fully go into one side of things. You don't want to be right. You want to make money when it comes to investing in these coins. So hedge against yourself. Almost, it's weird to say, but like, you have to invest in what you want to invest in, but at the same time, it's a decent idea to invest in the competitor of what you like that you just invested in. So hedge against yourself, if you will, such that if 50% of your investment goes to zero and the other half doubles, then there you go. You're pretty much break even, versus this example where bro put in like 100% into one side and it went just down 99%, turning 8 million into less than 100K, which is really, really rough. Let me check the chat real quick. Biden drops out. Kamala stands in. Landslide victory for Trump. Yeah, sounds good. Sami's a bit paranoid and mispronounced every corporate agency name to dodge tracking bots. I thought it was just to be funny, but you know what? It doubles up as humor and paranoia. Oh, all right.
6, yeah, you actually got your money back a bit more. All right, but so I've just introduced this concept to you, fans, like betting on competitors. It's something important. Look, but I'll be honest, man. It's easier said than done, man. It's so hard. How would somebody do this? How do you even have $8 million and you invest like this? It's because he's not an investor. Clearly, he's not an investor. All right, he made $8 million of Jupiter airdrop. He's some insider. All right, so he's someone who does this is experienced and clearly was an insider to the Jupiter airdrop somehow. Now I don't have all the wallets and whatever. I'm just telling you, dude. $8 million. You're not an investor. You're not a trader. But this is what happens, man. When people, see, you have a price chart yourself. When your wealth goes up, when your number goes up, you feel confident to do stuff. I can conquer anything. I can do anything. I'm going to go this and do that. I made this. I'll win again. Wrong step. Markets, they're full of these minefields everywhere. If you're lucky enough, friends, you come across what you would consider a large sum of money. For some people, it's $10,000. Some people, it's $100,000. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, if you consider like, hey, you came over a chunk of money, not financial advice, but statistically, you can't go wrong throwing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can't, even if you took 50% of it. Right? Maybe you like, oh, I found this inheritance money. Okay, get 100 grand. Okay, if you threw half into Bitcoin and Ethereum, you've set yourself. Okay, and then you play with the other half. That's just basic principles like that. But it's just one slip up, man. I know it's devastating to see. Just that's one slip up. So after everybody like railing on this guy, anonymous guy, we don't know who he is, that Popcat is now at $1 billion. I'm thinking, oh, interesting, back to back, right? So this mysterious news appears, and everyone's saying, you can tell who's going to make it by the people. You're probably curious, right? How can I tell a lot of people I'm going to make it? Go check the comment section of that guy who round trip 8 million. Everyone, hindsight, Harry. Hindsight, I would have taken out my profit. Wow, you're so stupid. Wow, how could you do that? Oh, that's so dumb. Everybody just shut up, man. You will never get there because you're a paper hand Jeep and you will dump everything at 80 grand and then go leverage by the top of something else. You're going to end up with less than what you started in the next bear market. Mark my words. You are going to be another statistic like most people had to be in 2022 and in 2018. Okay, it's going to happen again. I promise you it's going to happen again. Now, I didn't think about this, okay? Even if you're not a market guy or a girl or a pup or a squirrel, Donald Trump literally was within 3 centimeters of getting his head blown off. Okay, so like, even when it comes to markets, remove the market part out, like anybody can be taken out at any time. And people who invest with this mindset, maybe you've heard it, only the paranoid survive. They're the ones who actually make it at the end. They're the ones who consistently make it at the end. You could always make more. The number could always be bigger, but it's something you're just going to have to learn with. You're going to have to learn to live with the fact that you will be cheating something and it's going to go up after you. Or you're going to hold something too long. 14 days later, you might cop what happened in 2021, where it's a 70% drop in 14 days, which is exactly what happened in 2021, end of the bull market, okay? April 2021. 14 days, you're down 70%, never came back. 14 days, bang. It says goodbye, all your gains, see you later, come back in 4 years. We haven't even got back to that point yet. We have not even got back to that point yet. Doge, Chainlink, XRP, everything. Yeah, we're still not back at that point. So the stakes get higher and higher as you onboard more non-believers. Let's pray that we're on the right path, friends. What do you do if you're in these coins, by the way? Good question, right? Well, I like deep value contrarian stuff because buying low, I like it. I like it. There's literally only believers around. There's literally only believers. Sweet. I feel comfortable. I'm worried when people like me, I don't have Popcat, but people like me are talking about it now. Okay, I'm worried. I'm worried for you. I'm like, oh, it made it all the way to me. You see, this skill set, friends, it's not so easy to master. And by the time you master it, it might be a couple of cycles anyway. So as long as you're long into the pressure with me, which we are still holding, waiting for the non-believers, waiting for Coinbase, App Store ranking, Tai Lopez, whatever the hell they're going to throw at us next for these exotic top signals. Let's just pray we just make it all the way. The only way you make it is with believing. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you next one.
Man, okay. All right, do we watch another? Or are we chilling? We're already 3 hours deep. We're already 3 hours deep into this stream. I appreciate everyone being here, though. I'm just yawning. I'm out of water. Maybe that's why. I mean, excuse me. The viewership still just keeps going up. So I'm like, I'm kind of down to just stay on. Should we make it 4 hours? Let me reload something real quick. No new videos, yeah. You can watch this one. Money printable on Bitcoin over 100K. Deep state. Why not?
Crypto is going to go so much higher, baby dolls, and we are hoping that it reaches sky high prices of the total industry reaching, 7, 10, 12 trillion dollars. I hope it goes very, very high, but it's not going to come easy. There are going to be battles along the way. We're going to see more political fighting, polarization. All of those things are going to start to come together. We're also definitely going to see more deep state stuff. I mean, that's very obvious as well. And the deep state rabbit hole, friends, it does go deep, no pun intended, or maybe there is a pun intended. But ultimately, all paths lead to the money printer. That's it. All paths. No questions asked. The only way for them to spend.
Here, I'm going to just fast forward to more crypto stuff.
Crypto is so amazing because now you're witnessing the tentacles, okay, the hydra head of the money printer and the Federal Reserve. You're witnessing them print money. They send it out to the world and it's going to this bucket, the crypto bucket, which is what we're all here for. And they're obviously in the insider group. There's people just on the outskirts and they're looking at crypto eventually go up over time. So they want to escape that sinking ship. But I do believe eventually before it all crumbles, friends, they're going to have to do some emergency destruction of the existing fiat system. And it's not even my thoughts or my beliefs guessing that they have to do that. So it's just like they want to kick you out of your house. You've been there 50 years. No one wants to leave the house. What they do is they set up another house next to you and they come rob you 3 times and they come start, throwing a dumpster on fire, throwing Molotov cocktails into your lounge room. You run out.
Hold up.
Other facts, which are they print 5% per year and they only pay the workers 3%. That's it. And this is the M2 money supply, the 3-day chart. We can actually change it to a monthly. This is it going up over time. You can actually put on a log chart. See, this is the supply.
Hold on. Z says, I'm drinking orange juice with 3 ice cubes for Sami. Fun fact, I tried to get some orange juice the other day and I accidentally got tangerine juice. Still, it's actually super good. Like, sometimes it's even better than Oche, but yeah, no. Man, you're making me want to go downstairs, grab some tangerine juice and come right back. Tempting.
Of the money going up over time, you see. So, I mean, like, even if you go back to the year 2000, friends, the year 2000, okay, let's go to the year 2000. So it's been 24 years, okay? In 24 years,
wow.
This is
hold on, now I feel old. It's been 24 years since 2000. I mean, duh, because it's 2024, but it hits differently when you phrase it that way.
Disgusting. Okay, actually, I want to get this proper measurement so we know. In 24 years, friends, we have gone up 4.3x extra supply. So, man, that's disgusting, man. If you do the inflation rate of that, friends, is not that high. They completely understate it. So the inflation rate, they understate it. So if you do the annualized rate of 24 years, whatever, it's never the CPI. This is the real number. Now, how they get around that is that's sad and funny too, once again, the life we live, friends. They print more money to go tell the college professors to come on television, call themselves economists, and say there is no correlation between inflation and this money printing. There's none. All the data says there's none. It's kind of funny, right? They do more bribing to tell everybody that it's okay, and people swallow it. But we know in crypto that's not the truth. That's what we're here for. We know that you print enough money, eventually the currency units go around. Remember, friends, everything's a network, and in crypto we are a powerful network. Doesn't matter what chain you're on or whatever, we're all under the one wing arm, and everybody's here on this island. Yeah, crypto is like a bit of a pirate island. Eventually it's going to be a big island, but there's coconut bra babes here, and they're playing the music, the coconut music, and everyone's having fun. Now, ultimately, that network, it's going to be measured by the passion and the energy of everybody in there. And all of this is addressed by this chart.
So what Sami's showing here is M2, the chart of the money supply in the United States, pretty much. It's a really good chart to look at. It is it's similar to like a net liquidity type chart, where if you normalize things to these charts, aka a fancy word for divide by this, then it gives you a better understanding of the value of certain assets relative to its purchasing power. So for example, if houses go up 5x and your Bitcoin goes up 5x, your ratio of Bitcoin to houses went up nothing, like your break even, right? But if houses go up 5x, but Bitcoin goes up 20x, then 20 over 5 is 4, meaning normalized to inflation of whatever asset you're trying to purchase, your purchasing power went up, 4x. So, if your Bitcoin could buy a house, now it can buy 4 houses. That's what you want. Really, that's what matters. As Richard Hart always says, is goods and services are actually what matter. Everything else is accounting. And you want to measure the value of your assets or of your portfolio or of your wealth or of your purchasing power relative to what you actually want to buy, whether that's, houses, cars, etc. So that's pretty much what he's getting at from a fundamental concept.
Money supply of the US of A, and you can verify yourself. You're like, wait a minute, you guys said this inflation rate from here is only 3% per year. But if you do that, no, it's not 3% per year, man. It's more like 5. Yeah. Interesting. And you think, what's the 2% here? What's the 2% here, friends? 2% per year when you're compounding, stealing trillions and trillions of dollars every year, and you're sending it to a tornado cash, and you don't know where the hell the money's going. And then Boeing and Lockheed Martin and Skunk Works have all these compartments where they got UFO tech, all this weird stuff going on. Then you get a bullet sent through Donald Trump's head. It just makes you think. It just makes you think. Now, remove the news. Remove all that news. Remove all the politics. Team red, team blue, doesn't matter. Okay? We're on team friendship here. It's team insiders and outsiders. We're outsiders. That money supply chart, that's all that matters. All right? Money supply is going up. You guys are printing. Remember, friends, there are soy boys. They're like, the government is spending all their money wisely. Money, just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Well, now you know, friends, it's right in front of you, man. It's happening right now. They're doing that right now. So hopefully the Bitcoin and Ethereum accumulation comes soon. That's what we're playing for, friends. We're ultimately playing for this. Hopefully Bitcoin hits $100,000-$300,000, somewhere around there is the total crypto market cap. We have that here, right? Now, friends, I have a non-log chart here up here. So even if we don't diminish, we hit anywhere from like somewhere here-ish. Okay, it's anywhere from like 7 trillion to 10 trillion. So that is about a 100 to 200k Bitcoin, maybe 240k. Hopefully you get that. Okay, so somewhere up there. Ethereum could be anywhere from low end 10k, average 14k, hopefully up to 28k. I'm hoping around there. So they're big multipliers, right? So and we're hoping altcoins even flush up even more. That's basically a whole industry. You got to believe. That's it. You have to believe. That's why, friends. You ever wonder why don't people sell their Bitcoin when they're up 20x? Yeah, now you know how the system works. You know how the system works. It literally, you saw the M2SL chart, just going up. That's it. They keep printing. Where else are they going to store their money? They have to buy scarce assets. Crypto is a scarce asset. That's why this crypto tech is amazing. You can't make more supply of that. Good luck. But it's tongue in cheek as well. You can't just go buy any altcoin, win a competitive edge. That is why, my friends, you are always going to be here, liking, subscribing, highest value content in crypto. Tell mom and daddy love them. Catch you in the next one.
Nice. Fantastic explanation, says Ernie. I should send my onboards to you. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, no. As many viewers as we can get here, I appreciate that. Thank you, Ernie. Bitfinesse. Ideally, no one should be selling crypto for dollars. If you have positions in cryptos, particularly to pull your future lineage out of the chaos headed for all of us. No, I agree 100% there that crypto is a much better store of value than dollars. Obviously, we have our fluctuations where Ethereum goes down, Bitcoin goes down, Hex, Pulse, it all goes down versus the dollar, according to certain cycles. But in the long run, we've seen Bitcoin and Ethereum, the longest standing ones, outperform like a motherfucker. So I agree with that. I largely agree with that. Most will be short-sighted and sell for dollars, screwing their future generations. And there you go. Yeah, that's why you can't, when you say shame for like selling for dollars, sometimes people are literally forced to because they need to buy food or pay rent or just pay bills. And so instead of shaming, I think it's better to just say, don't invest that which you can't afford to. A lot of people say lose, but I say don't invest more than you can afford to not sell for multiple years. And I'm a fan of the 4-year cycle, or give or take a year. So don't invest more than you're willing to not sell for 3 to 5 years. I feel like is a good, generally good piece of advice, so that you don't have to be forced to sell at a loss for things like rent, food, etc. Orion says this is a new flavor that Sami's showing us, rather more intense, extra heavy tinfoil. I get it, but if I'm being completely honest, there's a time and place, and we're definitely at the time and place for that kind of content, especially when you see a lot of historical events transpire, such that which happened with the attempted, I don't even want to say it. That's messed up. Like shelling effect. I don't even want to say it because I feel like YouTube will ban me. But you guys know what I'm talking about with the attempt on our former president's life the other week. Definitely some intense things going on right now. So like, what are we going to do? Just stay quiet? No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to express our theories. Freedom of speech. I like to think a lot of us are fans of freedom of speech, and there we go. Let's speak our minds and that which we think is important to express to the people with which we have influence over, right? People like Sami, like, what does he have? 28.5 thousand followers here on YouTube, and I can't remember how much, like 30k plus on X. So the more influential you get, I feel like the more of a responsibility you have to just say certain things, speak your mind, say that which a lot of people are thinking but scared to say. And being scared to say something is, again, oftentimes an indicator that you might want to say it, because like, why are you scared? Just a thought. Anywho, is there a Pulsechain altcoin, a pulse chart like others, BTC, for example? C Money Morris. All I'll say is LookIntoHex.com has gotten very good, and it's getting better. And there are certain charts which I'd love to see such as that which you have just mentioned, like a Pulsechain total market cap, a a dominance chart, like let's say PulseX dominance relative to Pulsechain total market cap, total ecosystem market cap, to see the dominance of any given coin on Pulsechain to the entire ecosystem. And I originally thought dominance is a market cap thing, and it is when you look at something like a Bitcoin or others or a Total 3 and so on. But there are some coins with inflated market caps that would skew those kinds of charts. Therefore, I like to think that maybe a dominance from a liquidity perspective might be a good thing. I think we'll definitely whip up both when it comes to dominance in market cap, dominance in liquidity, and then we'll see which ones are more the healthiest, most accurate looking charts that aren't inflated, and we'll drop things like that. So be on the lookout. LookIntoHex, don't be surprised if you see some LookIntoPulse type action going on when it comes to the broader Pulsechain ecosystem, not just Hex, obviously, because now we're a multi-coin ecosystem. We're a layer 1, right? We used to just be an ERC20 token ecosystem. Now we're a layer 1 with multiple coins. So don't be surprised if you see like a LookIntoPulse type chart or site with these types of charts. Don't invest more than you're willing to let soak. Exactly. That's a clean way of saying what I said earlier. Don't invest more than you're willing to let sit for a few years, but I like that. Don't invest more than you're willing to let soak. And then see money more for the heart. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah. I think I'm sommied out. I don't know about you guys. I think I'm sommied out. We can look at some charts. We can just scroll some Twitter. We can play some video games. I don't know if you guys would all disappear if I did that, but I've kind of been in the mood to, start diversifying my streams and just hang out while we wait for prices to go up and for things to play out. Why is the focus on the mic? Hold on. Can I try to fix this? Hold on. No, same thing. But yeah, low key, I'm wanting this this stream to hit 3K. We're at 2878, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, guys, hit a 1, type a 1 in the chat if you want me to continue. Type a 2 in the chat if you're kind of tired of the content, want to go to sleep, want to go have dinner, do your thing. Most of us, the US, which is like 7 to 10 p.m. right now. But yeah, Orion says, "Hey Gerardo, you ever talked to Richard?" Yeah, absolutely. I've talked to him once on stream, actually, during Matty Allen's Hex conference back in 2022. I want to say. I was a little nervous to ask him a few questions, but he was chill. He was like, "Yeah, LookIntoHex is awesome, and go check it out." He's definitely showed it a few times. So no, yeah, I've talked to him. He's a cool guy. Bit Finesse says 1. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's keep it going. Charts says see money Morris. What kind of charts you guys want to look at? What kind of charts should we look at? Man, how about some Pulsechain? Yeah, some PLS. Opera tab. Boom, boom, boom. Where's my PLS chart, huh? Where's my PLS chart? No, really, where's my PLS chart? Here, I think. There it is. There's my PLS chart. Yeah, so this is a daily PLS chart. And I'll be honest, I'll admit, recently I joined a group. I'm always one to want to learn things, right? And TA charts, I've been obsessed with for years. So it's just like paying for your education. It was a monthly subscription and I'm still in it. I won't mention exactly what it is unless you guys, bug me and convince me to drop the actual one I subscribed to. But I did, and they gave me a bunch of indicators that already exist on TradingView and on Deck Screener, and they said, look at these individually, and then look at it as a whole, and look what they all say, right? And a couple of those indicators were as follows. Things like our super trend, right? And I'll be completely honest with you, I don't know the exact mathematical formula behind what a super trend is. However, it generally attempts to quantify reversals and simply trends and reversals within the chart. So when you look at a green curve beneath it, it's bullish, and when you look at a red curve above your price action, it's bearish. And again, this is a very simplistic, one-dimensional view of things, but right now, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream, the super trend on the daily, again, we're looking at a daily time frame, the super trend is bullish, right? And the level which we need to protect according to the super trend on PLS, that's what we're looking at, PLS versus DAI, is 4555. And prices right now is at 4948. So we like to see that. I like to see that. If you're long on PLS and the overall ecosystem, it's definitely something you want to see. So, and again, that's just one of 7 indicators. So I can go through them. One of them is the super trend. The other is your parabolic SAR, which again, it's very similar. When you have dots above price action, that indicates resistance, which you want to get above, and the second price action closes candles, and again, we're on a daily time frame. So the moment daily candles close above the SAR, you're looking at a reversal in the indicator of the SAR, right? So you can see when price action got above these dots right here, the dots flipped to right here, indicating a new level which you want to protect. And then when price dips beneath that level that you want to protect, the dots appear above, and so on. So you can tell right now, or more specifically, July 17th, 5 days ago, was the first time that the PLS price chart flipped bullish on the SAR since our local top pretty much back in March. And the last time, I want to say the last time we flipped bullish in such a way after being down for so many months on the SAR with resistance was around October of 2023, where, price was, funny enough, around the same level, about 4.5-ish, and we just pumped all the way to the 7.4 level, consolidated a bit. You saw the SAR go bearish here, bullish, bearish for a bit, and kind of an oscillation period after our bottom / accumulation zone, and then we ran and went absolutely berserk. So I like to see this. I like to see this a lot. And again, it's similar to what we saw back in October, where, not financial advice, but what happened in October was we ran up to the 7.5 level or so, which, funny enough, if you zoom out and look at something like a 20-week moving average, like a bull market support band, that the confluence there is around that same level, that 6.5 to 7.3 level. So if we do run up, I would be interested to see how we react to these kinds of levels, about 6.5 to 7.2. And again, that's if we do that, because in reality, we need to protect this 4.5 level, which we're clearly dipping a little bit after our 5.2 level. We're at 4.9. It's not a crazy dip, but it is a couple of red, 3 red candles on the daily. And yeah, you definitely want to see that be protected, and this super trend remain intact, so that we can be bullish, continue to be bullish, and start testing these levels and see how we react to that, whether we find resistance or cut through it like butter. It's anyone's guess. But let me get rid of these real quick. So the few indicators I've become semi-familiar with in the last couple months have been what I just showed you, right? Your super trend, your SAR, and I'm going to double click, and it's going to pop up a bunch of indicators, right? Don't get scared, because it's a lot to look at. But some of these are like your MACD, right? Your MACD. So your moving average convergence divergence is bullish on the daily, right? You have your green above your red, and this might be a different color for you, but this is generally a good indicator. If you look at something like an Arun, your green is above your red, which is bullish. If you look at something like your SMI, your green is above your red, which is bullish. And same with your DMI, your directional movement index is green above your red, which is bullish. So from a daily perspective, daily time frame, all of these 7 indicators are bullish, including your RSI, which is above your mid level of 50. So that's all good to see. And again, if you zoom out to like a 3-day, then it kind of it's different, right? I even have my crypto strategy sheet right here, which maybe you can see, which is like on the daily, all of these are bullish. On the 12-hour as well, last time I checked, they were all bullish. When you get into the 3-day or the weekly or the monthly, they are definitely not as bullish. The 3-day is relatively neutral, if not slightly bearish. The weekly is a little more bearish. And the monthly, I'll be honest, as you can tell with these zeros here on the sheet, some of these indicators simply haven't printed values because it's such a young chart. To get values on your indicators on a monthly time frame, it takes a really long time on the chart. It takes, a few years for your chart to start printing things like, I don't know, like a 200 moving average or a monthly RSI, because if you think about it, the default on an RSI is like a 14 period. So 14 months is what, a year and 2 months. So you barely start printing values. Like, I'll give you an example. Monthly, this is the monthly PLS chart. You double click and you see what I mean. Like, your RSI barely started printing values this month in July at about 40. Same with other indicators like your DMI and so on. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to see. But I will say, and again, this is leaning bullish, is that first you see these indicators align in a bullish manner on 12-hour, and then on the daily, and then on the 3-day, and so on. So it's interesting the way this wave has started, consuming your lower time frames, and is slowly looking like it wants to consume the higher time frames. So once I see DMI, parabolic SAR, RSI, and supertrend turn bullish on the 3-day, then that's even a more intense and it's even more of a valid indicator to say that we're bullish. Right now we're bullish on the short term, and I would say neutral on the medium term, if not slightly bearish, like on the weekly, for example. Like, if you look at your weekly, you can see your RSI is beneath 50. You can see we're looking like we want to cross bullish on the MACD. The Arun is bearish. The SMI is bullish. Did I have that? Yep, bullish. And your DMI is also slightly bearish. Like, you want to see these things cross to the upside, like we did, for example, back in January. Look at that. Green goes above red, green above red, green above red, green above red. We're above 50. Like, notice all of these indicators turned bullish back in January before we went up pretty much like 3 to 4x on PLS. And we all obviously saw all these other coins go up as well on PLS. So it's pretty much, you see these indicators turn bullish on a minor time frame, and then they start turning bullish on a major time frame. Let me update these actually. So the only ones that are bullish on the 3-day are your Arun, MACD, and SMI. Let me see. Arun, MACD, and SMI. Yep. See what I mean? So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's cool to see that Pulsechain has started to become bullish on certain timeframes, like the daily time frame. And one of these that I've always been a fan of is the 20-day moving average, which we're above. And you can play with other moving averages like 50, the 100, 150, but it's definitely good to see for someone who is long on PLS that it looks like we're flipping bullish in the short term, which generally historically prefaces flipping bullish on higher time frames. So ETF tomorrow, that's the title of this stream. Ethereum ETF starts trading, a bunch of them, like your VanEck, your Bitwise, your Vanguard, etc. Which and again, you saw like $1 billion of ETH transfer to Coinbase, which we hope is there to fund liquidity of these ETFs so that big players can get in and hopefully pump our Ethereum bags. And subsequently, Ethereum is, Pulsechain is a leverage play on Ethereum. Pulsechain altcoins, PRC20s are leverage plays on Pulsechain, like your Pulsechain, like your Hex, and so on. So we want to see Ethereum go up. Like, if you're in Pulsechain, you simply need to want to see Ethereum go up. It is the way things are looking at now, which, after this reversal, especially, things are nice. things are definitely nice. And then you saw that Richard tweet where he was all like, Pulsechain price is almost at the SEC week lows when the SEC sued him, right? Which we get a response on that, I believe, next month in August, according to Nuclear Herbs, which should be good to see. So, yeah, guys, should we just scroll Twitter for a bit, or what are we doing? Hey, appreciate you guys sharing this. 105 likes, 20 retweets, and just a few hours. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're live. We love X. X apparently is the freaking way to go. Dreams, thanks for having me. Yeah, we had Dreams on earlier. If you guys want to like reset the stream for a bit and check out what we talked about. He's amazing. Does great art. Super talented. Been working with Mintra for a minute. Shout out Mintra, app.mintra.ai. But yeah, this stream has been amazing. If we go to my profile, you guys can see have a new profile picture. What do you guys think about it? The US flag in the background. Edit that in Photoshop. If you guys want me to add a little American flag in the background for your stuff, I'd be happy to. Right, it's super easy for me in Photoshop. And yeah, I wanted to do the red tint and the laser eyes as well, but I didn't really like the red tint, and I was struggling with the laser eyes. If I'm being honest, I was struggling with finding a good transparent image of laser eyes, so that I could just plop it on and change color, whether it's blue or red or whatever. But no, I'm messing with it. I had the Pulse Funks profile picture for a minute there, because I did a poll, right? It was months ago. I did a poll. I was like, keep my profile picture, do a Pulse Funks, a Mintra Punks, a Pulse Punks or whatever, and the culture spoke, and they said the majority vote. It was like 32% to 31% after 1,000 votes. So like it barely won by like 10 votes or something like that. And they said Pulse Funks, so I rocked that for a minute. It's cool. Happy to switch it back to that, but in general, just like it's not that serious. It's just a profile picture, but it was cool rocking the Pulse Funks because they've definitely done good for the NFT community on Pulsechain, which I'm a strong proponent of. Everything Pulsechain. Well, not everything Pulsechain, but as a founder of an NFT marketplace, Mintra, I definitely have found myself dabbling in NFTs a lot more than the average Pulsechain user, which is fun, right? I have a ton of them, and like I said on earlier with Dreams, sometimes it's really just about owning it and just being happy to own it. Like all of the NFTs I own, to be completely honest, I don't expect to sell or make money on them or ROI. I just throw 100,000 pulls here, maybe throw 1 million pulls at some of these that are like really I think are cool or culturally relevant, and just yeah, maybe later they appreciate. Definitely happy. I'm not opposed to making money, but yeah, that's pretty much my spiel on that. But no, appreciate you guys sharing this. Scroll, see what's going on here. We looked over some Richard Hart tweets earlier. It's really political, It's very political right now. Richard, coded speech, Ethereum. This dev could use your help. We want justice. What is bro talking about? Roman. Yeah, it was really suckish to see Roman. Was that Roman Semenov or Roman Storm? Roman Storm. I know about Roman Semenov. He's like a Tornado Cash developer who I think he got arrested. And it's so dumb, man. Like Tornado Cash was clearly wanting to adhere to regulations. They even said so. They even created tech to adhere to regulations. Even Vitalik retweeted and shared it, saying like, you know what, this is a privacy tool. It's good tech, and if you're concerned about it from a regulatory point of view, they're doing their best to adhere to regulations and just be good people and make sure people aren't laundering like messed up type of money through it. And even then, they still arrested him, which is so dumb. But yeah, the reason Richard Hart is tweeting this kind of stuff is because these are privacy tools. It's open source software. It's decentralized, and it's crazy, absolutely crazy to see people are enforcement agencies just going so far as to arrest developers. I think it's so dumb. It looks so bad, and the US falls behind in the crypto industry every time they do some stupid shit like that. So no, just shout out to Richard, shout out to all the devs working, and let's definitely bring justice to people who are building open source software with good intentions and doing their best to adhere to regulations. And yeah, open source is not a crime. I agree with that. How much have they raised? 655 ETH, about $2.3 million. I love to see it. I love to see it, man. What does dollar cost then? When he posts long, $80, turn his phone on vibrate. What? Yo, dollar cost is something else, man. I love dollar cost. Ask me anything ETH versus Sol. Long-term strategies for crypto. No, dollar cost is the man, guys. Go follow him if you haven't already. Bro's killing it. He's like the only one of us from the Hex Pulsechain community to actually tap into mainstream. Like he's been on what is it? Fresh and Fit out there in Florida. He's rubbed shoulders with big, huge influencers like Justin Waller, and so on. So no, shout out to Miguel. You guys want to watch one of these? What? Gerardo Jewish? No, nothing against that, but like, no, bro. Huh? Don't miss DApp Radar. I haven't been on that site in a minute, although I have looked at them for stats sometimes. All right, streaming won't pump your bags, guys, at least not in the long term. I think he's irrelevant in the current cycle, and his old marketing strat is dead. I mean, he just hasn't streamed, so I don't think we can actually accurately say whether it will or will not pump Pulsechain. Like, you really don't think if you streamed after how long has it been? Like 2 years of not streaming? You really don't think it would do something? I mean, I'm not sure. Anyone's opinion is valid, but I'd definitely like to see him stream once, see what happens, and then start forming my opinion based on actual data points. Makes sense. I'm a scientist at the end of the day. A man of science. Literally follow Sami and nobody else. 95 out of 100 crypto channels are absolute trash. I will agree with you that 95% of most crypto channels are absolute trash. Although I will say Sami, I would say like Sami, Benjamin Cowan, the Into the Cryptoverse guy, maybe Steve from Crypto Career University, Richard Hart, if he ever streams again, myself, and damn, like 5, including myself. That's mainly like off the top of my head. Oh, dollar cost crypto, obviously. Did I already mention him? Hold on. Sami, dollar cost, Benjamin Cowan, Steve from Crypto Crew U, Richard Hart, and myself. So maybe 6, including me. For Ahmed, DCC has been a rock pillar in the community. I agree, 1,000,000%. No, he's killing it. He's the GOAT. Absolutely. Well, shoot, guys. Well, we're all in this together. Like Sami said, But check who you're along with. Look around you. Look to your left. Look to your right. Look down at your nuts, or at your lady garden. And shit, dude. Just when the haters start coming in, when Binance starts listing PLS and whatnot, like that could be a top signal. When when everyone's screaming that Bitcoin is going to go to 200 or 300K when it's already at 100 or 200K, that's another top signal. What else? Sami has his checklist. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think one of them was Andrew Tate launching a coin, which we've already knocked that one out. Not really launching, but endorsing at least. So it's kind of like a nuanced check mark on Sami's checklist. But yeah, go check out. Oh yeah, out of the 7, I would say like definitely follow Sami as well on YouTube. So maybe 7 people, but definitely keep it under 10. Yeah, guys, like, yeah, I will quote Richard Hart. I love his outros where he says, "I wish you all the absolute maddest of gains. Stay well, stay healthy. Appreciate you all being here. Truly, like, this is a dream, guys. 3,000 live viewers is absolutely stupid, beautiful, insane. Yeah, 7 p.m. here on the West Coast, 10 p.m. on the East Coast. If you're in Europe, it's early. You know, if you're in the US, have a good evening, have a good night, stay healthy, stay well, stay safe. If you're in Europe, good morning, have a beautiful, wonderful Tuesday. And yeah, Gerardo out. And I'll be doing these more often. Love you guys. Peace out. See you soon.